Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO.
Yo, what's going on? What's up? It's your boy BVO Sports TV. We're back. I'm back with another video. I'm back on the live, man. Just want to talk a little bit today about my boy. A little bit of Jake Paul. You can hear me. Oh, I just got a call. Yo, what's going on? Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Boy, BVO Sports TV. Hold on one second. My bad. Up, messed everything up. Messed everything up. But anyway, I have seen that yeah, Deontay Wilder was hating on my boy, and it was crazy because I think the thing I don't understand is I don't know where that was coming from. I think Jake Paul really has been great for the sport, and to see the kind of hate he's getting, kind of crazy, man. Because it's like people want to see boxing die. You can't tell me you like boxing, you don't want to see what Jake Paul's doing. Can't tell me that. That makes no sense. Jake Paul's been great for the sport. Jake Paul's been one of those guys where he almost has overachieved a little bit because he's been doing really, really well, man, and doing some really big things with the sport. And I'm excited about it. And for me, you got to be a stone cold hater not to want to see this dude do his thing, man, and then to see Deontay Wilder, come out and say what he said. It was kind of a shock, man. It's kind of a shock. Only thing I will say I didn't like was that had Carl Froch hating for weeks, since the fight happened. You even had Carl Froch crying, talking about, the Cobra was crying about talking about they wouldn't let me into the weigh-in, they wouldn't let me into the press conference, all this, right? But as soon as Deontay Wilder give his opinion, Jake sends him a cease and desist letter. Apparently, I don't know if that's true, but that was the rumor, and that's what he was saying. But it just goes to show you, man, like dudes are haters, man. No matter what you do, it's never good enough. Whether it's Jake, whether it's Deontay Wilder, whether it's Carl Froch, dudes are stone cold haters, man. Because I haven't heard Jake Paul speak negative about nobody. But
What?
still, every time you turn something on, you got somebody hating on this dude. It's like, dude is mad because he's from Cleveland. They mad that he getting money. It's like
Ain't
everything
nobody
Jake
mad
Paul is
because
doing.
of that.
No, that's what it is, man. I know you a stone cold racist, so you ain't gonna keep it real, but it's just one of them things, man. I just gotta come up here and tell the truth, man. Jake Paul has been great for boxing. Better than expected. I mean, the man beat Iron Mike Tyson. I mean, what more do you want? And he about to fight the former two-time heavyweight champion, unified heavyweight champion at that. And you got people hating on that. I mean, my God. I just learned this in this life, man. You can't please nobody. So I would say, man, Jake Paul doing what he's supposed to do. That's counting checks and getting his money because there's so many things in the game of boxing. It was so
Your
many
mic breaking
jealous
up.
dudes. I never thought it was so many jealous dudes in boxing. I never thought
There
that,
you go.
but that's the case, man. You just got one jealous dude after the other, man. Just can't stand to see a young brother getting his money.
You breaking up.
Hold on. One second.
Ain't nobody jealous of this dude, man. Like, But
Go ahead,
shout
you
out
good.
to Jake Paul for getting money, man. You know, he getting money out here in these streets. Ain't that what y'all want? Money? So you can't really hate but so much. But I know he a corny dude and all that, but he getting money in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Beating up wrestlers and old ass Mike Tyson's and I hope Joshua I hope Joshua do something to him. Like for real, man. Cause like what this is gonna be a draw? Come on, let's be honest. If he fought Joshua, if this is real, Joshua's gonna man, come on, man. Joshua ain't that trash now. Like you remember, Jake Paul had a draw with one of them daggone Furies. What was them? He had a draw with one of them. No, he lost to him. Matter of fact, I stand corrected. But do you think he could beat a former unified heavyweight champion? There is no way in
Of
the
course.
world.
You know what I gotta say? You know what I gotta say?
Man,
You
here
know what
you
Prize
go.
is giving me? You know what Prize is giving me, y'all?
Come on
Beta.
now,
He's a beta.
man.
That's what it
Whatever.
is, man. He's a beta, man. They don't want to see, man. They don't want to see real dudes get money, and it's just like I never
Joshua
realized
get
it. Like
money. Who got you think Jake Paul got more money than Joshua?
I don't know. It don't matter who got more money. It's a
Right.
part of the
So why
fight.
we
What I'm
talking about
saying
it?
is, I'm just wondering why so many betas is going at him. I
Man,
don't get it.
I don't going
I
at who?
mean,
Joshua?
you gotta have a pair of nuts to go at Jake Paul. You got Carl the Cobra Front going at him. You got Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder going. It's like these dudes are beta males. Why y'all worried about the
So
money Jake getting? If Jake is so trash, why y'all care what he doing?
you
That's what
saying
I'm trying to figure
Deontay
out.
is a beta male? That's crazy.
Gotta be. What
Nah.
does he care what Jake Paul does? What does he care? You
You
see what I'm
said
saying?
Anthony Joshua getting put to sleep? Yeah, okay.
Hey,
How much you want to put on that?
it's a good chance. It's a good chance. You talking about a dude that's a real fighter, man. Like, see, that's the thing about dudes now,
He's never
especially in
been
this boxing
champion.
realm. Dudes is haters, man. Like, you
How am
just
I
being a
hater?
pure
Now I'm
hater.
just if I'm just
Why you
looking at
hate
it
the
from a
nigga?
box, if I'm looking at it from a
No, you just
boxing
hate the nigga.
stance, listen, no, if
No,
I'm
you
looking
just
at
a
it from a
hater,
boxing stance, Anthony Joshua has fought Vladimir Klitschko. What come on, bro.
bro.
He's fought everybody,
Why
whether
don't
win, lose, or
Deontay Wilder?
draw,
Why don't
except for
Deontay
Wilder
Wilder
and
focus
Fury.
on fighting somebody? Why don't he focus on fighting somebody
Because he trying to
instead of
get a
speaking
piece of
on
the
Jake
cash.
Paul?
He wants some cash too. Why not? Get a little payday. Everybody else doing it. He giving
So what?
everybody
We
else
can
payday.
knock him out too? You want
He
us to
should have.
knock him out too?
He's better off, huh? Man,
Y'all
come
want
on.
us to knock him out too?
So you think
That's the thing.
Jake
It's
Paul?
one at a time.
If this ain't no wrestling match, Jake Paul is going to annihilate him.
You're
He's
right.
too
Jake
big.
Paul is going to annihilate him. You're
I'm not
absolutely
Jake
right.
Paul, but I'm sorry,
No, you
Joshua.
said nope. You said it right. Jake Paul is going to annihilate this
He's
dude.
crazy.
You gotta
Anthony
stop.
Joshua is going
You
to
gotta stop
destroy
the
him.
hate, bro. The hate is
It ain't
crazy.
no
Like
hate. It
I
can't
never
be hate.
realized that, bro.
Anthony Joshua is 6'6", like 200 and what?
Wow. Beta.
Man, come on, man.
Shout out to all the beta males, man, talking crazy about Jake Paul, man.
Man, Jake Paul,
This is
man, he gonna get
crazy,
beat
man.
up. When your man,
Hey,
what was this?
as my
What was this
homeboy
energy
Sean
when
just
your man
say,
got beat up by what's his name? Huey, not Huey. What's his name? Fury.
we
Huey Fury.
lost. We lost. Didn't
So
Muhammad
you
Ali
got beat
lose
up
to a
by
dude with
him.
8 fights?
What
Hold
makes you
on.
think you can
Did
beat a
Muhammad
man
Ali
that used to
lose to
have
a dude
3
with 8
heavyweight
fights?
belts?
Hold on.
What?
Did Muhammad Ali lose to a dude with 8 fights?
Man, come on, stop playing.
Stop the games, dog.
You
Stop the
tripping.
beta male talk, dog.
You
Y'all
tripping.
hating, man. Y'all hate that Jake Paul is taking over boxing.
He ain't taking
That's
over
all it
nothing.
is. That's what it. He owns boxing. He had your boy. He had your boy. What's his name?
And when you got to
Abdul
go pick him
Wahid.
up,
He had your boy Abdul
man,
Wahid
that's
in
your
check.
man.
He was about to do. He's about to do a fight with us. Now you got AJ. I mean,
You
I
go
just
with the
don't get
us
it, man. When
stuff.
I
Us and
shout out to
we. You
Vacay Bay,
French.
I just don't.
What up,
I don't
Vic?
get how dudes hate Cleveland so much, man. Dudes hate
Ain't nobody
Cleveland with
hating
a
no damn
passion.
Cleveland.
It's like,
Anthony
wow.
Joshua is a current. He ain't retired.
Hold on. Last time I seen AJ, he was getting slapped.
By who? By who?
Y'all be dead. And y'all want to talk about
Who
Jake
slept
Paul, man.
him? Who
Stop.
slept him?
Stop. Hey, And I'll put like this. And I love Deontay Wilder. That's my guy.
He's
But
making
man,
up stuff.
be quiet. Hey, in
You
the
don't want
words
to
of
answer the
Tanks,
question.
man,
Who
watch your
slept him?
mouth. Watch your mouth before you next, Deontay. Watch your mouth for you next,
Man.
punk. How about
What?
that? How
Man,
about
get out of
that?
here, man. Deontay Wilder would knock
Keep
him
it
out,
up,
bro.
man. Keep it a buck, man. Niggas are scared of Jake Paul, man. Stop, bro.
What's
Stop
up, Angie?
this.
What's up with you?
Stop this, bro. Niggas
Yo,
are scared of Jake
Deontay
Paul,
Wilder
man.
would knock him out, bro. And Joshua. If this ain't no wrestling match, Anthony
Why you
Joshua
knock the
putting him to
Chinaman
sleep.
out? Why you knock the Chinaman out? What happened with the Chinaman?
What
Had him on his
Chinaman?
pockets. Sleep.
He's a fighter.
Sleep. What you talking about?
Jake Paul a wrestler.
We seen Caballero beat the General Soul chicken out that nigga.
Man,
beat
get
him
out of here.
dead. What you talking about, bro?
Get out of here, man.
We seen Caballero beat him dead. Stop this, man.
You talking about real fighters. You talking about a wrestler. Jake Paul is a wrestler. He wrestles.
Man, Jake Paul is giving niggas an opportunity to fight, bro, on a big stage. We ain't even got no title yet. And you got to remember, that's this thing that's so sickening about this whole conversation, right? We even got no title yet, but you still got niggas hating on Jake Paul. Jake Paul is boxing. Just say
How
it.
am I hating? Because I said Joshua was going to knock him out.
Bro, you got to stop this beta male stuff, bro.
That's that, you the beta male. You riding the man. You riding the man pony from Cleveland to New Orleans to Cleveland to LA, nigga.
Okay.
What Pac say? What he say? From Cleveland from LA to Cleveland, nigga. You riding this nigga.
This is a sick Negro.
You ride him all the way down the block. You heard?
Wow.
Man, get out of here, man.
Wow. Salute to my brother, Coach Haggett. Coach Haggett, man, what's up?
Man,
why
what
is
up,
niggas so
B?
jealous of Jake Paul? Coach Haggett, why is niggas so jealous of
Get your
Jake
boy,
Paul,
get your boy, brother B.
I don't think nobody is jealous of Jake Paul. I just think that I'm gonna say this. I think that the fighters who are close to leaving the sport, they have a bitterness towards Jake Paul because he's been more financially lucrative than they were.
Mm-hmm.
And the time has gone for them to get the opportunity to fight him. And so it does leave a bitter taste in your mouth. I mean, it's
so
no
you
different
they
than
beta males, right, Coach? They beta males.
oh, they just have a bitter taste in their mouth. I can't say
Who gets bitter other than women? Who gets bitter other than the ladies?
Receivers who should have won the MVP, but they gave it to a quarterback.
Hey man, shout out to Coach, man. You know, Coach a politician. He's not gonna tell you the truth about this. Because you know, Coach know like I know. Coach like I know. If they call Coach and say, hey Jalil, man, come get in there with Jake Paul. He'd be in there with Jake Paul too. Jake Paul is boxing, bro. Y'all gotta stop this.
In a second.
So
in a hot second.
Hey, and I'll put it like this. And if we put a rehydration clause on him, he'll respect that too. Y'all gotta remember, Jake Paul is fighting the best, and he just got going. He just got started. Man. And he already fighting a former unified champion, heavyweight champion at that. And we beat Iron Mike Tyson. I don't know what y'all niggas talking about. We beat Iron Mike Tyson. I mean, y'all got to give us credit for that, man. I mean,
man, Mike Tyson, my grandpa age, man. You tripping.
Man, stop, man. Shout out to Chico, man. Shout out to Chico. Don't talk about the legend like that, bro. We talking about
Mike, man, come on, man. You can't be serious with this Jake Paul stuff.
Hey, I tell you something that
he get money. I give you that. He
like.
get money. I give you that. He get money.
I'll tell you something that don't nobody like. Jake Paul is the only fighter in boxing right now that when other fighters say send me the contract, he the only one that can really send you a contract of what he gonna pay you to fight. So if you could do that, and the last person that was doing that was Floyd, then I think he might actually be the real cash cap.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna deny the money. That's like, come on. Like, whenever he moved, he got that Netflix deal. What happened when they called Tank Davis? He hopped too. And that's what you do when you the face of boxing. But I ain't say he could rumble the Joshua and certain people. He can't rumble with them.
But y'all
you
said
can't be
we couldn't
serious.
fight nobody. We fighting the heavyweight champ. What are you
And
talking about?
he about to be unalived tomorrow or Saturday. When is the
what
fight?
happened? So guess what? So what
Tomorrow.
happened when we knocked the nigga out? What happened when we knocked the nigga out?
Man, he not
Yes.
knocking
What
out.
happened?
Man,
Joshua,
What
too
happened if we
big.
knocked him
cut
out?
it out.
Like a
Man, cut it out.
Coach,
Cut it out, BVO.
Coach.
No,
You
that's
know,
not
like
gonna
I know,
happen,
it only
gang.
take.
Why you doing
It only
that?
take. It only take a little bit to knock somebody out. And last time I seen Anthony Joshua, he was asleep.
By who?
Last time I seen him, he was knocked out.
Who
sleep.
slept him? Who slept him?
It don't matter who slept him. He was asleep.
It definitely matters who
talking
slept
about?
him. Who slept him? Who did it? Refresh my
bro.
memory.
And we coming on. Hold on. And keep in
I don't
mind,
watch boxing. I don't watch boxing like that. Refresh
champion.
my memory. Who
We
slept
coming
him?
off beating the world champion. We coming off beating the world champion.
What
Don't
world
act
champion?
like Julio Cesar
world
Chavez
champion?
Jr. wasn't a champion before.
Who?
He was a champion. At 160, he was a champion. We just beat him.
Who?
Well, when the last time anybody took Chavez Jr. seriously?
Man, he said Chavez
When
Jr.
Canelo fought him, it was serious. When
Yo.
Canelo fought him, it was serious. When Danny Jacobs fought him, it was serious. But when Jake Paul fought him, it's not serious. See how y'all niggas too, man. Niggas is haters, man. Niggas
Man,
is
that
haters,
man been retired out of the game of boxing and not thinking about boxing for years.
You talking about the boy that snort coke and walking around in his little drawers? That nigga, you can't be serious.
All I know,
can say this, Coach.
all I know is Tio is going to be highly upset because BVO is riding Jake Paul more than he ever ride Tio. He's going to be highly upset. When Jake Paul gets knocked out tomorrow night, Tio going to say, don't come get on my job strap no more. You can stay over there on Jake Paul's job strap.
Wow, the black
BVO
man,
just got up here.
Jockstrap now. Oh, okay.
BVO
That's
just got up
crazy.
here with two hands and pickle pull
No.
a vengeance. Like he
No,
had
you
violence.
talking about-
Like he want to take
Wow.
violence out somebody.
This is a sick Negro.
Last
And
time I
pickle
checked,
pulled
Jake
up here
Paul
with,
couldn't knock, he couldn't knock out.
furious
He
angers.
couldn't knock Nate Diaz out. He couldn't knock Cesar Chavez Jr. out. He couldn't knock Tommy Fury out. He couldn't knock Anderson Silva out. No, this man got a lucky shot on Tyrone Woodley, and now all of a sudden he's a knockout artist. BVO, stop it, BVO.
Hold on, you
Stop
talking about
it.
the same Tyrone Woodley who was a UFC
Stop it,
legend? Am I
BVO.
saying that right?
Stop it,
UFC
BVO.
legend, Tyrone Woodley.
Okay,
I mean,
I'll put it like
the
this,
hate is
BVO.
crazy.
Get out of here.
Since
BVO is
you
tripping,
believe that
bro.
so much, how about you go bet your entire life savings and including your house on Jake Paul knocking out Anthony Joshua?
He ain't gonna do that.
I don't
What he
think
gonna
I
do
don't
is
think he'd knock
what he
him
gonna
out.
do is this. What he gonna do for? He gonna get up here and rip the skin off his hands from pickle pulling. That's what he gonna do. Rip the skin off his hands.
Wow, you want to
From
use?
pickle
Y'all want to
pulling
use?
to the
Y'all want to use my stuff against me? But
yeah.
it's okay.
Well,
I've never pickle pulled a day in my life.
you
I
just
call it
did.
right down the middle. Niggas hate
And
it.
your
I call it
hands
right down
got
the middle.
warts and
But
scrapes.
BVO,
You ripped the
if you
skin
are
off
really
your
that
hands.
serious, go. Matter of fact, don't even go into your life savings. Go take your wife's life savings and bet that. I guarantee you, you won't be coming back home tomorrow night. I guarantee you that.
Man, his wife
Let
will
me
beat
ask you
him
this.
dead.
Let me ask you this.
His wife will beat him dead.
Since we talking crazy, right? Since we talking crazy, free. You
I ain't
saying all
doing
this
crazy
stuff,
No,
you saying,
I'm
right?
saying if you are so
Wait,
sure that you're going to knock them out,
I ain't doing
how
crazy
about
talk.
you
Y'all
go
going
When we
left.
beat, hold on, let me
Trying
say
to
this.
go
Hold on,
left.
let me say. I'll let you talk. Let me say this. When we beat Shakur Sanchez, I want you to put $200 on your boy Gary Antoine that we won't beat him dead. Tia won't beat him dead. Let's do that. Let's talk about real stuff. Let's not talk about fantasy stuff. When Tio beat Shakur, you know Gary's next, man. Gary's next, and we're gonna beat him. We're gonna beat him next.
Gary next.
Antoine will
And
put Teofimo to
I
sleep.
will put 200 on Antoine. I will put 200 on
Antoine will put
Tio
Teofimo to
said
sleep.
he's next.
Unlike
Tio
you,
Singer said
BDO,
he's next.
unlike you, I put my money where my mouth is. I will be betting on Antoine. I will.
We and you will bet 200. We got 100 on it now. Let's make it 200. But you talking so tough. Let's make it 200.
I'm not betting you. I'm betting Vegas because Vegas give me better odds. I'm not betting you. I'm betting Vegas. I get better odds with Vegas.
Hey, you see how they do. You see how they do.
$200 with you. All I'm gonna get is $200 with Vegas. I might win $500.
Hey, BVO, I take that bet with you. And if Antoine lose to Teofimo, I'll come on the show the very next show, and I'll put my 200 in the super chat.
That's definitely a deal.
Hey, YouTube will take
BVO,
30%.
man, you got a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
do that
money over
behind
there,
the shit.
man.
Hey,
All I'll say,
you can cash at me
what do you
mine.
think?
You can cash at me mine.
Wow.
I'm
Cause
gonna say
BVO,
this.
yo, they
This ain't
don't
Antoine
about
gonna
know.
this ain't
beat
about
him
you,
to
coach.
death.
This ain't about you, coach. This is me exposing free. This ain't
But
about you,
let's
coach.
let's let's,
I'm
That's
trying
let's
to let
get
crazy.
y'all
back to
know
Jake Paul
niggas
because
say everything.
you talking about Tio. Tio got food on the table right now. We don't even know if he's going to finish all that food. So that's down the line. We talking about what's going to happen tomorrow night. Let's stay on that subject.
Tomorrow night,
You
we're gonna
said
see.
that
Tomorrow night, what we're
I
gonna see, I'm
mean,
gonna give you a preview.
unless you got a flight tonight to go to Miami, you ain't going to do nothing. You gonna be sitting at home on the couch watching TV just like all of us.
With us.
You ain't doing anything.
With
Hey, I'm
us.
gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this. That's a fight. Miss BVO actually was mad at me because I didn't think about it in time when they left Atlanta
Where
to
they
go to
fight
Miami.
at? Where
That's
they
a
fighting
fight I
at?
It's
could have
in
been at.
Miami Beach. Miami
Oh,
Yeah, I
Beach.
could have been.
I
I
ain't
could
going
have been
out
at
there.
that fight.
I hate Miami. I hate Florida.
I could have been out there. Yeah, Miami's
I
beautiful.
love
Man,
y'all,
you
Especially
bet
but
where
I
I'm
don't
at.
like that.
you
Man,
better not
BBO,
waste your family money going to that fight. You better not waste your family money.
You say
If you was gonna go, you could have been bought your ticket because they announced there goes Tank Davis months ago. You ain't buy no ticket to go to Miami Beach to see Jake Paul fight Tank Davis.
I wasn't about to watch Tank get stopped. I wasn't about to watch Tank get stopped. But this is my whole thing, and this is what I want to bring up today. This ain't just about Jake Paul, who's probably the most hated on man in boxing. And I just want to ask you guys this: what do you guys think about a four-time champion like Carl Froch hating on Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua? What do you think about them thinking they were talking about possibly banning him from the fight? Is that fair or foul, in you guys' opinion?
Foul.
How
That's
so?
their prerogative. That's their prerogative.
Who's
I
going
don't
Man,
think
first?
nothing.
Who's going
foul.
I
third?
don't think nothing about it.
If the man show up and he's as bitter as he is, I want him to sit on the front row. I ain't never want no bit man. I ain't if in the great words of one of the top rappers ever. When they looking, give them what they want to see.
No.
I feel it.
I
I
wanna
feel
ask
it.
BBO this question because I remember a while back when another individual did the same thing. We went in on him. What's up with your boy suing Deontay Wilder because of his opinion?
Well, Deontay Wilder gotta learn how to watch his mouth. Um, I don't agree with it. I'll be honest with you, I don't agree with it because I think that's just too far. If you're gonna sue Deontay, why don't you sue Carl Froch? I don't get it. I think it's just nothing more than a play to kind of get some respect because I think Jake has been super disrespected, and it's like the people who hating, they sound like bitter ex-girlfriends, man. They got to stop this beta male stuff. Like, are y'all mad that Jake Paul did what y'all couldn't? I don't know, man.
No,
Everything Jake Paul is
I
doing,
don't
they
look
could
at
have
it.
did. They could have started a YouTube channel. Go ahead.
I don't look at it as hate. I look at it as Deontay Wilder looking at Jake Paul or somebody who picked up boxing in his mid 20s, and you looking at a former gold medalist, a former unified champion who's been in the ring with a lot of top level fighters. And he said, if the fight goes the distance, I believe it's fixed. It's nothing wrong with saying that because he got more faith in Anthony Joshua getting this fight over and done with early. It's not saying that he believes that the fight is actually fixed. He just said, I believe it's fixed if he goes the distance. Because I don't think that Jake Paul should go the distance with a guy like Anthony Joshua. Somebody who's a gold
Yeah,
medalist and a former unified champion who's been in the ring with a bunch of top level fighters. The best fighter that Jake Paul has been in the ring with is Tommy Fury. That's the best fighter he's been in the ring with. And he lost that fight.
I
Got beat
can't
up
say that
badly
because
in that fight.
we fought Savage Jr., who was a world champion.
No, the best fighter he's been in the ring with was Tommy Fury, and he got beat up badly. A Chavez Jr. who's been out of the ring for umpteen years, a Mike Tyson that's been out of the ring for umpteen years, former MMA fighters who never boxed in pro fighting, in pro boxing, those are not the best fighters that he fought. The best fighter he fought was a active Tommy Fury who beat him badly.
Beat him badly.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Coach. Now, this is something that I don't think you'll understand, Coach. Now, just picture Jaleel, right? Jaleel just had a great performance. We pushing Jaleel to stay at middleweight. We want Jaleel at middleweight. Coach keep denying us what the people want. The people want our champion at middleweight. So we look at a guy like Jaleel, right? If you say you could be the biggest fighter in the world, you can fight the biggest fighter in the world. Isn't that what the whole goal is to do, is to make big money? So it doesn't matter how you get there, whether you get there through fighting tough guys, fighting the up-and-comers, then you fight tough contenders like Jaleel's doing, or you be like Jake Paul and fight guys up-and-coming. If you think about it, it's only like his, 12th or 13th fight? And I just don't understand why he got to deal with all these guys coming at him, and now he about to fight the heavyweight champion of the world, unified heavyweight, British champion. You know, they first British champion since Lennox Lewis, man. Like, I don't understand like why people are hating on him. I mean, a gold medalist in 2012. Can you please get a man some credit? I don't get it. Like, this, what else do you want?
I mean, you can't knock the hustle. You can't knock the hustle. I hate Jake Paul for one reason only. He ain't called my son to fight. Shit, the man giving out retirement checks. I can't knock the hustle. The man doing what he got to do. He making money.
Yeah, and like I said, I give Jake Paul credit. I give Jake Paul credit for taking the fight with AJ because that's what we asked him to do. Get in the ring with a real fighter, and he did that with Anthony Johnson. Now I don't agree with the the rehydration clause on a heavyweight. I don't agree with that.
Wait, what? Free?
You got a rehydration clause on Anthony Johnson.
For what?
Anthony Johnson can't go. Anthony Johnson, I think, is Anthony Johnson can't go over 250 pounds or something like that.
Oh, that's okay.
I mean, but
no,
Anthony
it's 244.
244.
They both
244. Now,
and that's okay. Anthony Joshua stays in shape all year round, so that's not.
But no, Anthony Joshua normally comes to the ring around 250. He normally comes to the ring around 250.
So he'll be fine.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, that's the only thing I disagree with is the catch weight. I mean, the rehydration clause on a heavyweight, because heavyweight, if you're fighting a heavyweight, there is no limit. You're heavyweight. That's you can.
Well, there's always something with him with Jake Paul, Free, but.
But no,
you never said that. You never said that with the. Go ahead.
No, I never discredit Jake Paul for taking a fight with Anthony Joshua. I give him credit for that. But what we're saying is he should not last more than 3 rounds with AJ. Now that's not a hate on Jake Paul. That's saying what we believe in AJ. That's how much we believe in AJ. It's not a hate on Jake Paul. We're just saying this guy has never been in the ring with nobody of the level of an AJ. AJ should not go more than 3 rounds with Jake Paul.
When the last time AJ been in the ring?
AJ was just in the ring not too long, like about 6 months ago.
Okay, so AJ getting the opportunity. AJ getting the opportunity to stretch his legs out, get some rounds in, and get $50 million for doing it before he got to face another heavyweight giant. Shit, I wish they'd give me that motherfucker. Shit, not my son. I wish they'd call me to fight that motherfucker. Shit, man, for the type of money he giving out.
I mean,
shit.
Even Eddie Hearn said he believed the fight ain't going past 3 rounds. Eddie Hearn even said that. They asked him, they said, when you think the fight going to end? He said, whenever Anthony Joshua wants to. He said, but
everybody know that though. We all know that.
You got to remember.
I think it's going to be 2 rounds.
Remember that.
In Pittsburgh, T, you ain't used to hanging with the blacks. Sorry.
We told.
It's okay. We still love you.
Hold on. Let me read this. Let me read this comment because my man Pittsburgh got some sense in the audience. He said, saying the fight is fixed is crazy. We still waiting on proof that Fury cheated. He's supposed to release. Deontay is childish and not a serious person. It's boxing. They can fight. We will get an outcome. Hey, I'm still waiting on my man Deontay Wilder to release the evidence that he said he had. The man said he got hit with
He didn't say the
The
fight
egg
is
weight
fixed.
spike.
He said
He
he
said
believed the
the
fight
gloves was
is
this.
fixed if it
Go
goes
ahead.
the distance. He didn't say that the fight was fixed. He said he believes it's fixed if it goes the distance. He don't believe AJ should go the distance with Jake Paul. Y'all not listening to what the man saying. He believed that much into AJ that it should not go the distance. That's what he's saying. He said if this fight goes the distance,
You
I
can't
believe this
keep
fight
this
is fixed.
hating up, man.
That's what he's saying. Because he doesn't believe AJ should go the distance with a guy like Jake Paul.
Why is he hating so hard? That's my question. Why? What does he get
Why
out of
what?
this?
He's
No,
trying to
you
get in
gotta.
line for one of them fights. I
But
don't
y'all,
blame him. He trying to get in line for a fight with him. To
yeah,
this day.
yeah, and
If I was
what Jake Paul
Jake
said,
Paul,
what Jake Paul said in the press conference, you need to line Deontay Wilder up after AJ, since you got so much bigger and animosity against Deontay Wilder for what his opinion is. You need to line him up next. Line him up next.
and
Yeah,
then you'll
well,
hear him
go
say
ahead.
the gloves was like this, or y'all say you'll hear the suit was too heavy. Y'all hear a bunch of stuff because I
Oh
love
man, get
Deontay
out of
Wilder,
here,
but he makes a
BVO.
lot of
Get out of here.
excuses. He makes
Get
a
out of
lot of
here.
excuses, man. He'll probably say something like that. He'll probably say Jake Paul spiked his water or
No, but
whatever.
y'all
At the end of the day,
act like Deontay's the only one that said it. I understand
listen.
y'all look at Deontay Wilder as a head figure, but he ain't the only one that said it. A lot of people been saying this. This ain't the first time we heard that they believe that Jake Paul fight is fixed. There's a lot of people that's been saying that.
But why
They
is he
said
opening
that
his
with the
mouth?
They
That's the
said that with the
question,
Mike
champ.
Tyson fight. They believe that fight was fixed.
But why is he opening his mouth, champ? I don't understand. What is he
So
saying? He had a chance to fight Jake Paul.
why y'all got so much animosity towards Deontay Wilder saying it when people said it about the Mike Tyson fight? Ain't nobody say nothing about that.
All
We
people are
scared of
asking
Mike
for is a
Tyson.
very fair,
We scared of Mike
huh?
Tyson.
Ain't nobody said about that.
We all scared of Mike Tyson.
They said they
Hold
believe
on.
him.
We see
Mike Tyson said, "You pay me $10
you
million
seen
dollars,
Mike
not to knock
Tyson.
you out."
I didn't hear that. I'm still trying to find that clip. I done scoured the whole internet. I haven't found that clip yet. But at the end of the day, I just think that the hate for Jake Paul is because he's running boxing. That's what it is. This is his
You're
sport.
crazy.
It's his game. And like I tell anybody, man, if there's a lot of beta males out there that get mad when I say this, but hey, you better be quiet. Focus. Deontay need to focus on himself before he the next victim. Tank Davis style. It's just that simple, man, because when we stop him, I'm telling you, man, the sky's the limit, bro. Sky's the limit. And we really fighting a guy who's over the hill, man. Give us a break. We fighting a guy who's over the hill, man. It's like a horse that Fred Sanford bought, talking about he gonna have a stallion. I mean, Jake Paul is not what he used to be. I mean, AJ's not what he used to be. He's finished. AJ can't beat the top guys. What are y'all talking about? We fighting a guy who's
Man,
over the hill, and y'all going crazy about it.
when did it become
Go ahead.
weak? I thought you was Team Teofimo. Boy, you ain't pickle pulling, you zucchini pulling.
Here you go. Like, it's sick, man. They say this about the black man. That's crazy. That's sick, man. You talking about a guy sent by Christ. Y'all want to talk about me that way. That's crazy. But I love each and every one of y'all. And I'm going to say this, man. I appreciate Jake Paul for what he's doing. But let me ask you guys this. What do you guys think about my man Caballero teaming up with Turkey to go ahead and get that get that fight with whoever, I can't remember the guy's name that just beat Badu Jack. But anyway, he's gonna get an opportunity to fight. They're gonna try to team up and get him a WBC championship shot, or try to unify with Monster winner. What do you guys think about Jao Batai getting some support? Can y'all hear me?
Turk making the best fights in boxing. If you take
Mm-hmm.
Turk away, if you take the Turk away, if you take Jake Paul away, what do we have left?
That's a good point, Coach. It's a good point.
Because everybody else screaming about they ain't got the money for these fights. Only two people that's putting money up for the fights is the Turk and motherfucking your
yeah,
man Jake Paul. Everybody else
that's
talking
a
about
fact.
everybody else talking about they ain't got no money. So if we gonna hate on the man and he walk away, and we hate on the Turk and they walk away, we be fighting at high school gyms again.
That's crazy.
See, you know what's funny? You know what's funny, Coach? You know, when I say that, I'm pickle pulling. It's crazy, but when I tell the truth like that, I'm pickle pulling. So it's just one of them things, man. You really can't win with these guys, man. Like they hate the sport of boxing. They don't want to see boxing do well. That's the stuff they say. I want to see boxing do well.
Hey, BVO.
But
Look in our community chat. I put the clip in there where Mike Tyson said it. He said he paid me $10 million. I let him win. If he wouldn't have, I would have knocked his dad. What do you say? I would have knocked something out of him. I forgot what the exact words was.
I don't
He
know
paid
what
me $10 million.
Pittsburgh. What you on,
He
bro?
said he paid me $10 million. I let him win. I just put the clip in our
he
community
said
chat.
Deontay Wilder said he had proof Fury cheated on him, and he would reach the proof. He fired a guy on his team, smeared his name on the internet with rumors and conspiracy. Not a serious guy. I gotta be honest. When you think that Mark Breland was terrible.
You met that man before? You know that man?
Who, Mark Breland?
No.
Mark
Him
Breland?
or Wilder. Him or Wilder. Y'all know them?
I seen him at the fight. I
seen him. Do
wanted to
you
talk
know
to him
that
once.
man? Do you know them men? Yes or no?
Who, Mark Breland?
Either one of y'all. You and
The
your
gold
man Pittsburgh
medalists?
T.
I don't think the gold medalists did that stuff they said. I don't
Oh,
think
you don't think anything. I wouldn't think my friend did what he did, but he locked away. So I ain't trying to hear none of that. That's cap. I don't know that man.
Let me ask you this,
Only thing
Coach.
I say about
The man said one thing, and then when we looked at the fight, it was something totally different from what he said. He said, I never gave him water. You can go look at the fight. You will see I never gave him water. We looked at the fight. He was the only one that gave him water. So I mean, why would you lie if you didn't do anything? Why would you lie about giving him water? We know that's part of your job as a
See,
trainer.
I
When
ain't
they
even
come to
want to
the
get
corner,
deep like that, D Free. But go
I'm
ahead.
just
Go
saying.
ahead.
I'm just saying. When people say, "Oh, there's no proof," well, if there's no proof, why would the man lie about something that we know that's what trainers do? When your fighter comes to the corner, you give them instructions, you give them water. This man said, "I never gave him water." If you look, you'll see I didn't give him water. When we looked at the fight, you are the only one that gave him water.
I don't know about
But
all that. I
Pittsburgh
don't know
T and
about all that.
BVO,
But
they need their bifocals.
he
You
did
know, they
smear
can't
his
see
name.
nothing.
He did smear his name, though.
Now
He
I rock
did
with
smear
Mark
his
Breland.
name.
I rock with Mark Breland. You know what I'm saying? But
You know,
that
Mark
whole
Breland
little
was a
thing
part
is
of the
suspicious. I
greatest.
don't even want to go down there. I don't want
He
to go
was
down
part
this
of the
alley,
greatest
man.
Olympic team of all time.
I'm not
Like,
trying to hear
this
none
is
of
Mark
that.
Breland.
Well,
This is Mark
I mean,
Breland, man, an American legend. Like, now,
well,
was he what he was supposed to be in the pros? No. But he
hey,
was nice, man.
hey, all I'm gonna say is money makes people do strange things. That's all I'm gonna say.
Change.
That's
You
all
ever
I'm
heard
gonna
that saying? Do something strange for a little change.
say.
I've never
Money
heard
makes
that
people
before.
do strange things.
That don't
I don't
mean
care
that don't mean
how.
you go get the $40 girl. What a $40 drop?
That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not saying that he did or he didn't. I just know money makes people do strange things. They say everybody got a daggone price tag.
Ain't nobody
I
said
just,
that, Pittsburgh T. You want some bullish tonight. Ain't nobody said that man Mark Breland poisoned anybody.
no, ain't
What
nobody
he
say he
did? No,
poisoned
no,
him.
no. I'm not talking about you, Free. I'm reading the
No,
comment.
no, I'm talking about Deontay Wilder. He never said Mark Breland poisoned me. They asked Mark Breland. They asked Mark Breland a question. Mark Breland was the one that said, "I never gave him water."
I never gave him no water. Then he on camera giving niggas water. I mean, you can't make this stuff up,
Deontay
but
Wilder
people
never
like
said Mark Breland
BVO,
poisoned him.
Pittsburgh T, they'll see something different. They won't see that. They won't go research that. They'll just research everything else but that. The truth. That's what y'all do. But it's cool. We still love you.
The only thing that
Match
Deontay
me in a
Wilder
super
ever said
chat,
about
Pittsburgh
Mark
T.
Breland,
You got
the
a
only
lot of
thing that
comments. Match me in a super chat. Whatever you put in the super chat, I'll match you. Do
the
that.
only thing that the only thing Deontay Wilder ever said about Mark Breland was, "I told that man not to stop the fight, and he went against my word." That's the
Yeah.
only thing he ever said.
Now I disagree with that. I would have let Wilder get unalived out there because that's what he wanted and that's what he believed in. So if I'm his trainer, I'm like, man, he gonna have to really do something to my man.
Nah, you can't do that.
I get
That
it.
you
I get
can't
it because I'm
do.
not a trainer nor a boxer, but as a
No,
fan,
not even for not from that aspect either. From the aspect of if you are the guy that's controlling that corner and the fighter is controlling the fight, it'll be hard as hell for you to get any other fighter or any other fighter's team, not the fighter, his team, to approve you as the corner man if you let this man go out there and get beat to death. That will be yeah, he I gotta agree with him. I gotta save my own career. Cause I don't want to be the guy known as the fighter said let it go. And you got a man beat to death. No
And
indeedy.
that's the only thing I ever heard Deontay Wilder said bad about Mark Breland. He said Mark Breland went against my word. I told him I was willing to lay my life down in that ring that night, and I told him not to stop the fight, and he stopped the fight.
yeah, Breeden wasn't trying to hear none of that. He stopped the fight. He was like, hell no.
Yeah, Mark Breland. I mean, like I said, I don't believe Mark Breland had anything to do with anything. But once again, I don't know.
Yeah,
I believe.
I don't think the brother would do. I don't think that he would stoop that low because I felt like he was getting paid good. I felt like he was living a good life. I don't think that he would intentionally do something, but I don't. That doesn't mean things can get screwed up and people get jerked
Hey,
around.
Pittsburgh, pull up, Pittsburgh.
He ain't pulling up. He's just gonna type in the chat.
Pull up, Pittsburgh.
That's
I
what they
got the link
do.
in there for you.
They type
I'm
the
gonna say
chat
this.
and they won't come up here and say what they say it with your chest.
I'm
Say it to
gonna say
me.
this. I'm gonna say this, man. And this
But
is the guys on the True
did
Coach
you see
spot.
the clip,
Hold on,
BVO?
let me finish this real quick. What I say is this: what they did to Mark Breland's reputation was crazy. Mark Breland was an upstanding dude. I think he even left New York because of the stuff that was said about him. I'm saying I think that was unfair. And I think Deontay Wilder, at some point, maybe not now, maybe when he retires, should apologize because I feel like Mike Breland didn't deserve that. Mark Breland saved his life. It's crazy. Mark Breland saved his life. He wasn't even appreciative of that.
What I will say, it's not out of the realm for somebody to spike somebody's water. It's not like we never seen that in boxing before. We've seen it before. We heard the stories of people water being spiked and things like that. People putting stuff on their gloves to blind their opponent. We
What
know
about
things have been.
Panama? Free Panama
Yeah,
was juicing
yeah, we,
everybody up.
we know we know things went down in the sport of boxing, so it's not like this is the first time something like this ever came up. Even Tyson Fury said the same thing about Vladimir Klitschko when he fought Klitschko. He said, "Nah, they trying to spike my water." And when they went to give him some water, he said, "Where you get it from?" He said, "Right there." He said, "Nah, give me the other one."
Oh, they trying to
He
spike
said
me
he said
water.
the same thing.
Man,
Pittsburgh T, I'm glad you
y'all
pulled up.
got to
What's up
stop
with you?
this, brothers. Y'all brothers got to stop this,
What
man.
you want?
Like I like Deontay, bro, but he was dead ass wrong for that Breland shit. Like, if that's your
Try
man
not
in
to
your
cuss,
camp,
T. Try not to cuss. But
oh,
go
I'm
ahead, keep
sorry.
going. No, it's all right. Keep going.
If that's your man in your camp, like, yeah, okay, y'all had a falling out. Yeah, you have every right not to have that man on your team. But to do that with no proof and just leave that out there like that, unless there's some real stuff going on, and if it's that serious, you need to put hands on him and you need to get that brother prosecuted if he really did what you said he doing. But if it's gossip and innuendo and like stuff that you just hearing, which it seems to be, that's foolishness. That's not how you treat people in your camp that you're supposed to be caring about. That's crazy for somebody to do that kind of stuff. That stuff is dead ass wrong. That's dead wrong. Sorry, dead wrong. That's just not right. There's
The
a
question,
whole protocol that you're supposed to have with people that you put in your fold. And I would imagine, I'm not a fighter, just assumptions from a fan from afar, that people that you let in your camp on that level, that you would have some kind of relationship with them and y'all have a communication. If y'all can't, you kick them to the curb on a different level. Like, that just don't make any sense. Because
the
now we
question,
leaving all this stuff out here and people just assuming a bunch of stuff. If you know something and you got it, release it. Other than that, you should have just let them go and y'all part ways. That's your right to do it.
the question that I have for you: what did Deontay Wilder say about Mark Breland?
Bro, Deontay Wilder, during that time, we have to rewind back and remember this was during COVID. During COVID, we had conspiracy theory central, from the gloves to the egg weights to the water to videotapes. And his team, I wouldn't say per se him. He kind of did at the end because he insinuated that he had proof of something, some ill-gotten stuff going on, and that he was going to sue Fury, and y'all wait, and we still waiting. So like he's dead into that.
I asked you, what did he say about Mark Brilliant?
He said
What
specifically.
he said was that he betrayed him. That's what he said.
Hold on, BVO. Let T answer his own stuff.
What you said was he's dead wrong for what he said about Mark Brilliant. I said, what did he say about Mark Brilliant?
He said what BVO just said. He didn't say he spiked my water. He said he betrayed him. That's what he said. So it leaves it up. It leaves it up.
The betrayal that he was talking about was he told him not to throw the
We don't know that.
in.
We don't know that. You assume that.
What are you talking about? We don't know that. That's what he said. He said, I told the man not to throw the towel in. He betrayed my words. That's what he said.
I thought that's what he meant by that too, Free. That
Brilliant
through the towel. That Deontay felt betrayed.
But we don't know that because his camp, at least this whole thing about where we get the water stuff from his camp.
Okay, if they did something to his water, that doesn't mean Breland was a part of it.
Okay, but if I see BVO next to you and you his manager and you saying some stuff and you not even his manager, you somebody next to him and you saying some stuff and BVO don't say nope, that's not true, and you know it's some stuff going on, then I'm going to assume that it's coming from you because you're not disputing it. He didn't directly say that the man's fighting his water, but we know where the water stuff came from.
Hold up, Free.
I just told you where the whole water came from. He was overseas doing an interview with, I think it was Akin Barak. I think it was Akin Barak. It might have been somebody else, but I believe it was Akin Barak. He was doing an interview, and they was asking him about all this stuff because Wilder said he didn't have his legs on him. He said, do you know Wilder water being spiked or anything like that? And he said, nah, I wouldn't have spiked his water. You could go look at the video. I never even gave him water. If you look at the fight, I never gave him water. Then we go look at the fight, and we see he's the only one that gave him water. So the whole speculation came is, why would you lie about giving him water if you didn't do anything? That's where that came from. That's where that came from.
Yeah, but what did before that? So why did I?
Let me do this, Chris. Let me do this real quick. Chris.
So why did he ask him that?
Hold on, let me do this real quick. Coach, you a coach.
You should let them go at it.
Hey, Coach, if a fighter asks you, don't throw the towel in and you see him about to probably pass away, what you going to do, Coach?
I'm going to make the decision to stop it on my own validity. I tell any fighter,
what up,
my job is to save you, but give you every opportunity to fight. But people forget part of my job is returning you home to your wife and your kids in the best state that I can. I'm not going to look at her and let her tell me, you listen to this dumbass nigga say let him get killed in there. This ain't no damn Roman gladiator. Let him fight as much as he can. But if he is looking to the point of death, I'm blaming the coach. I'm blaming the ref. I'm blaming the doctor. And you have seen times when wives have filed wrongful death suits because they said all three of you were negligent in your job. Your job is to do what's in the best interest of the fighter. I'm not listening to no fighter tell me no crazy shit like that.
Right. No, I'm not saying that Mark Brilliant was wrong or anything, but that was the only thing that he was talking about when he said Mark Brilliant betrayed him.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that he was talking about.
I insinuated that he meant the
Mark Brilliant did anything tricky or anything like that. He never said none of that. The whole speculation of the water came from an interview that Mark Brilliant did. That's where the speculation of the water came from.
Yeah, but it was swirling before that, though. Y'all don't know if y'all remember, it was before that. He got asked that there. He got confronted with the question there. But he didn't make up the speculation. It was already before that. That's the problem with it.
But the man said he never gave him water when he gave him water, T. That's the only thing.
I mean, but that don't.
I'm not saying that Breland gave him. I'm not saying,
and
I'm not saying that Breland gave him anything, because if he did give him if he did, it was he didn't know. I don't think that Breland's a dirty guy like that.
It doesn't mean anything, but it also raises questions.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Why would you lie about something so simple like that? Because and as my background in law enforcement, what we do is we ask you a bunch of different questions to find out what you lying about. And when we find out you lying, even though it might not have been anything, we're trying to figure out, why did you lie?
But,
if it had nothing to do with anything, why did you lie?
But how do we know it's a lie? How do we know it's okay?
Why would you lie?
But look, if that's something you do every day, like minuscule tasks that you do every day, that you think nothing of them, you're not gonna be remembering doing stuff that you do on a regular every single day. Like that's crazy. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
T,
sure he give
but
him water all the time.
why did he
You
say
gonna
he never
remember
gave him water
everything
when he
that
gave
you
him
He
do on a
water?
probably
regular
didn't
basis.
remember.
But
Oh
Okay,
my
so
God. Come on, that
yeah,
sounds
that
You
doesn't
crazy.
mean
Man,
we
Mark
know.
Breeden
Look, we
come
know
from
even in the court say we know even in the court system, people when they eyewitness testimony is known to be wrong. Why? Because people recount events the way that they recount them. That's
So
why they
you the
have that whole
trainer
innocence.
and you in
No,
the
hold on, hold
12
on,
round fight,
hold on. No,
you
forget
don't
that.
remember giving the man
We talking about
water?
the incident. No, hold on. We talking about most people in their life when they look back, they remember traumatic events, correct? And then we can look at the criminal aspect when they put them on trial and they get the eyewitness there and they ask them all these questions. They have pointed out people and said he did it. They go do DNA and they figure out that that person ain't got nothing to do with it. And these are people on stand that I saw him 100%. So like people's recollections of events, they have been known not to be
I'm not.
100%.
I'm
And
not
these are
talking.
not
I'm not
people that are
talking about. I'm
malicious.
not talking about recollection of
Of
event
events.
of one thing happening at one point in time. I'm talking about something. This is what this man do every time he has a fight. His fighter comes to the ring, to the corner. He gives them water. You're lying about something that you do on a regular basis. That's like saying if I woke up and my job is to check my email every day, and I said, nah, I didn't check my email. And I know I sat down at the day. That's the first thing I do every morning when I start my day is check my email. And I'm gonna say, no, I never checked my email. And then there's video footage of me checking my email. And they're like, why would you lie about checking your email if you check your email? Well, is there something in your email that you wasn't supposed to see, or you something you trying to hide in your email? Why would you lie about checking your email? That's the same thing. He does this on a regular basis. This is what he do all the time. He said, if you look, I never gave him water. And we looked, and you're the only one that gave him water. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
but
And so the only
yeah,
thing,
but
T,
that don't
that's the
prove
only
nothing,
thing,
man.
T.
I
Nobody,
didn't say it did.
That'll
What I
prove
said was
that.
it raised the question. Why
that's
would you
all.
No, it
lie
don't.
about something so
No, it
No,
frivolous?
don't.
It raised a
don't.
question. Why
That's
would you
crazy,
lie
T.
about something so frivolous as
Oh,
giving him water unless it might have been something in the water? That's the only
oh,
reason why
like
the question is raised. It might have been something in the water. Deontay Wilder said he didn't have his legs under him. He didn't look right. And he said he didn't give him water. And we see that he's the only one that gave him water.
oh.
That's what happened.
I mean, and look, two things could be true. Either he could have not remembered, or he could have flat out lied. I don't
Man,
know
come
which one
on,
it
T.
is.
Stop. You
No,
a
no, I don't. I'm
politician.
saying I don't know.
We're
No, I'm
gonna vote
telling
for
you, I don't.
Pittsburgh T for
We no,
president.
we don't know. But either way, it doesn't prove anything. Even if he
I didn't
lied,
say
it don't
I
prove
didn't say
nothing.
I
Yeah,
didn't say it
it
didn't prove
doesn't.
anything.
Yeah, either way, that's your man in your camp. That's your dude. Like you just trusted him enough to give you water. If he did or didn't this particular time, he's close enough to your camp to be the guy giving you water. So now all of a sudden you lose a fight and the man that did something to your water, like,
He
nah,
didn't
man, he
say
should have been
that.
the first
Oh
one
my
saying
God.
He
that.
never
Listen, T, you
said
going
that.
around in circles,
No,
T.
man. I
He
know I'm not.
never
I don't
said
believe he did. I
that.
don't believe he did that.
No, he never said that. What he said was the man betrayed him because he stopped the fight and he told him not to. He never said anything about any water.
So
All
let
you
me ask
gotta
you
do
this,
is go look
Coach.
at.
Let me
All
say
you gotta
this.
do is look at all of the interviews that Deontay Wilder did after that fight. He's never said anything about any water.
Let me ask you this,
Remember,
Coach.
they was
Hold on
talking
one
about
second,
that
free.
his
Hold on one
suit
second,
was
free.
too
Hold
heavy.
on,
Go off,
Coach. Let me
free.
ask
Let
you
him
this
go
real
off.
quick, Coach. So when you hear a fighter say you don't stop the fight, don't you have the
He
discretion as
just
a
told
coach
you
to make
that,
the right
BBO.
decision? Hold on,
He
no,
just told
listen.
you that.
And when you make that decision, if a fighter went against you publicly, what would you say to something like that, Coach?
that's his right. I mean, that's his right. My thing is that when you've been in the game for a long time, you've
Mm-hmm.
seen wins, you've seen losses, you've seen draws, but you also have seen loss of life. And the one thing that the fans and everybody else got to remember, you see a fighter die in the ring, or you see a fighter collapse and then find out later on that he died in the ring, that's where it ends for you. But it don't end for the coach because he got to go look a family in their face. And the only question they're asking is, why didn't you stop it?
Mhm.
And when you have that face you, it affects the rest of your life.
Yeah.
It affects the rest of your life. That's why we don't have a sport called play boxing, because you can't play boxing. You can't play any aspect of boxing. So a fighter can tell you, I'm willing to die. But as a coach, you're not willing to lose him. He don't got a dead man ain't never had to face his wife.
That's a good point.
That's just like a doctor. A doctor can't let a patient die because a patient said, "I don't want to live no more." They got to do everything under the license to save that man. They got to do everything under the license to save that man. If they find out that they didn't try to save that man because he said, "Just let me die," they can be sued. They can be sued. The family can sue that doctor and that hospital. It's the same. It's the same thing. The only way a person like that could say, well, actually they can't even say it because they're not even conscious enough to say it. It would be somebody that's on life support, and then one of the family members would say, "Go ahead and let them go." But a person can't just say, let me die." No, you got there's the people that's in charge of their life at that time got to do everything in their power to make sure that they don't pass away.
So let me ask you this. While I got my man Pittsburgh up here, Pittsburgh. When we talk about boxing, do you think there's a sense of people losing the fact their humanity when they become a boxer? Because I think when I heard Deontay say that, I don't think he realized that that's a pretty brutal thing to say. Never stop a fight. What do you think? You think the man lost his humanity in that in the sport?
Uh, I think shout out to Deontay. I think sometimes that these men, uh,
Hmm.
they become the characters that they're portraying, and they lose the fact that they are immortal. So to what the coach was saying, and I
Hmm.
think they lose that fact, and I don't think they understand that these people that's what I was alluding to earlier. These people that they're hiring, that's just not some guy you hired. I would imagine they have some kind of special relationship. So I would
Right.
imagine it would be hard for the coach to sit there and watch something happening to him that he say he could potentially see that it could impact the rest of his life and not do nothing about it. I think that's like an impossible situation. You asking somebody just not to do anything
Hmm.
that you would say this like my brother or my father or whoever. It would be a
Hmm.
close relationship. I think that's when you have got so engulfed in the character that you're not even realizing the reality that you are a mortal man, and this is a mortal man that has some kind of developed some kind of relationship for you and cares
Hmm.
about you. They're not going to let that happen to you.
I just think when we talk about it, the reason I want to get more in depth with it is I think sometimes, and this is not me just saying it, I think Deontay Wilder suffers from getting too caught up in his own hype. Prime example, when he had a recent interview where he said, "Well, I went through a lot of heartbreak and I couldn't catch my wind. That's why I wasn't where I used to be." My thing is this: I understand you go, life is life, but the fact that he always makes excuses, does that kind of bring him down in your opinion, Coach or Kurt Pittsburgh? What do you guys think? Does that bring him down in you guys' eyes that he always makes excuses for why something didn't happen?
No, that don't change my opinion. All athletes are delusional. I don't want an athlete that blame himself. Let me blame you. I want you to think it was always somebody else. The minute he starts seeing himself as the problem, he's not invincible anymore. Mike Tyson lost in Tokyo, and Mike's first words were, "I'm still the baddest man on the planet." Once again, the fighter or the athlete must live in the world of invincibility. Everybody else has to live in the world of reality. That's just
Mhm.
how it is.
What would you say to that, Pittsburgh and then Free and Price? What would you guys say to that?
I mean, I don't have like any athlete that does that. I don't necessarily have a problem with it. I just chalk it up to that's the character that you play, right? And it's not good or bad. That's just some people need that in order to perform. I get it. That's what they need. Cool. Got it. I just can't take you literal when it comes to certain stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's no knock on that. There's plenty of great athletes that never succumb to defeat. they don't never admit that they lost. Like it's plenty stories of Magic Johnson playing pickup games and calling a foul when he losing. Like he called a foul so he can start the game over. Like that's just what some
Yeah,
people are embedded in them. It doesn't take away the greatness that they've achieved. That's just what they are. I just know that I can't take you literal for every situation. And there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't knock you down.
yeah. I mean, no matter how it goes, man. I think in order to be a great athlete, man, you got to have something. What would you say, prize and free?
Um, I would say, like Coach say, every athlete has to be a little delusional, have to be a little insane, especially when it comes to a fighter, because you're going out here to fight for a living. This is meaning you're fighting any and everybody for the most part for a living. You have to be a little crazy to say, I'm gonna go and fight for a living instead of getting a regular 9 to 5 job. So every fighter is insane, a little insane. It's saying, and it comes with every sport. You have to be a little arrogant because you might not be the best, but when you start to believe you're not the best, you're gonna play that way. You're gonna react that way. So every athlete has to believe that they're the best, even though we might see that they're not. But in their head, they gotta say they are, because if you say that you're not, you already done lost. And that's what we say. Boxing is 90% mental, 10% physical. So you have to think before you even get in the ring that you're the best guy going into that fight. Because once you believe that he's better than you already lost that fight.
Mm.
You already lost.
If you're a fighter for a living, you're a savage. That's just like you got to be a savage dude. You willing to go in there and get knocked out in front of the world or people for money? And like it's like Free said, instead of going to 9 to 5, you going to do that? Man, I respect them dudes. I respect them, and it's they tough. I don't think there's no athlete tougher than like boxers. I know the UFC stuff and all that, but boxers they train different. They got a secret where they can weigh one thing one day and then a complete they can lose the weight up, go up weight. We all want to know the secret, you know. And I just feel like when they go in there win, lose, or draw. Some of them like it's tough. Some of them going there to get knocked out. Some of them going there for a paycheck, whatever. But you got some of them that's just willing to go out on a shield, man. And I respect them brothers. Like it's different from an NBA player or basketball. I mean, or a football player. You know what I'm saying? They all built different. But I feel like boxers, like if you follow the tradition, man, they savage the way they live, man. They don't be mashing on their shorties. They be drinking water, they be eating right, they run, they do stuff that the average person couldn't do. And I just don't think that no athlete as a super like imagine somebody like Floyd or Roy, like one of them athletic dudes.
Uh,
I
I
don't
give you,
I
I
don't
give you
think
a
they can.
couple of examples. Muhammad Ali knew that off the jump. That's why he will always talk trash to get into his opponent's head to mess him up mentally. Because he might not have been the best fighter that night. But if he got into their head, he knows he can perform better than they can because they fighting off of anger and emotion. He's coming in and fighting off of the game plan. So that's why Muhammad Ali talked trash to his opponent to get into their head because he knew that 90% of boxing is mental. If I can get into you mentally and mess up your mental, oh, I got 90% of the game won. I just got to finish the other 10%.
Mm.
The hard thing about boxing in general is that you asking these guys to do something that's hard to do, and that's fight for a living. And I think that in boxing, you get a lot of like weird things said. Like I'll tell you this, I thought Deontay Wilder was classless when he said he wanted to catch a body. I thought, like, why would you say you want to see another man not make it home to his family? Later on, he recanted that whole thing. And I gotta just be honest. Sometimes fighters, man, they're like anybody else, man. You kind of get engulfed in what you're doing, and you just say stuff you don't mean. But
Then
we
why
got
do
to
you
take.
hate? Why do you get mad at them for doing that? They all
But
do it.
But let me say this real quick as we go on to our next subject, man. I want to give a big shout out to Alicia Bungana. It looks like this young lady is going to be the face of boxing, women's boxing, man, because the shows she putting on before and in the ring, I think she's second to none. What would you guys say about Alicia Bungana and her rise to stardom? Because when she came out yesterday, for the workout, she stole the show. What would you guys think about Alicia Bungana?
She cool.
I mean, Alicia Bongard, she does that every media day. That's what she does. She's a showman. Now, what I need her to do is perform the way you talk, because the last couple of fights, it ain't been too pretty. Now she got the job done. I give her credit for that. She got the job done, but it ain't been that Alicia Bongard that we've grown to love the last couple of fights. That Alicia Bungardner looking like Alicia Bungardner, where the other fighters are catching up to her. And right
Mm.
now, you got that young girl that just signed the MVP, Carolina Dubois. She's on your coattail, and she's coming for you. So I'm gonna need Alicia Bungardner to start backing up her actions. I'm gonna start backing up her actions based off of what her words is, because she talks a good game. She puts on the show,
And she look
but when
good.
it comes to fight night, the last couple of fights, it ain't been what we used to
All I need
seeing.
her free. All she need to do is not get tired. That's it. If she don't get tired, as long as she don't get tired, she's tough.
And she definitely can't get tired against Carolina Dubois, because Carolina Dubois got a gas tank and she's going to fight all 10 rounds.
You talking about Caroline Dubois?
Yeah, Carolina Dubois.
Yeah, Caroline's nice. I don't.
She,
Yeah, she
she,
tough too.
I'll ask you this, Pittsburgh. Do you think that Alicia will take that fight? Because I don't think she will. I think Caroline would stop Alicia Bungana.
They fighting.
They not
I
fighting.
look this. Yeah, this is what I think about Alicia. Alicia is on the big stage. As long as she put out in some kind of way, we in the social media age, bro. Like everybody up here, you guys are hardcore boxing fans. The casual fan is gonna look at her picture. They're gonna rate her how she overall looks, and they're gonna go off of that. They're gonna see she fight a little bit. They're not gonna look nobody. They're not gonna look up her fighters. They're not gonna do a whole bunch of background. They might do some Instagram, look for some news. That's about it, bro. But like she gets the casual guy, casual dude, and the casual woman. Because women too, women don't like looking at hard women. Let's just be honest. They're looking at mid to beautiful women. That's what they look like. And she hits all those checks. And she can speak. She's not stammering over her words. She does the media days. So as far as her image, she's perfect for being what you're saying, though, BBO. So I don't see nothing wrong unless she gets knocked the hell out. I mean, knocked out completely. Then there's nothing. There's nothing she could do to penalize herself, because Netflix is smart. They only have these fights they're having. They're having them on Friday when nothing else is going on. So it's going to be all eyes on these fights. Everybody's going to stop what they're doing to watch these fights, and they're free.
Mm.
I mean, I think the thing with Alicia Bungana is what Caroline was doing was just pure hate. Um, it's crazy that you see some. I never realized this, man. Like, it's a lot of haters, man, in the world. Like, it's like she the co-main event. And you got Caroline sitting at the bottom of the stage talking about what she gonna do. I'm thinking to myself, like, why don't you be somebody that we know first? You know what I mean? But I'll say this: I think
Now I
Alicia
mean she can't
Bungana.
rumble though.
I think Alicia Bungana might not be the best fighter, but I think she's a great showman,
And she
and I think
sure
the show.
look good.
no,
And
that's not.
it kind of remind me of like when I look back now, I kind of realized that maybe Sugar Ray Leonard wasn't what I thought he was, because if you think about the guys he ducked, like the Donald Currys and a lot of guys, somebody he had some of his eyes about to pop out. You kind of realize that showmen seem to always take the day, whether right, wrong, or indifferent. Because if you look at careers, Muhammad Ali doesn't compare nothing to Joe Louis. Joe Louis and Muhammad Ali not even close. The reason people love Muhammad so much is because stuff he did outside the ring. But inside the ring, there's been nobody better than a heavyweight than Joe Louis. It just goes to show you that showmen seem to do better than what the actual facts are. What would you guys say to that?
Um, nah. Like what
Mhm.
Carolina Dubois is doing, I don't call that hate. I call that a upcoming fighter calling out the bigger name. That's what they are supposed to do. When you have young upcoming stars, and it's not like Caroline Dubois hasn't done anything. She's a champion. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to call the stars that's on top. That's why they're called upcoming stars. They're supposed to call out the stars that's on top. When Jaleel Hatchett going after Xander, that's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to go after him. That's a big man right now. He's supposed to. So that's not something that you say is hate. That's what they're supposed to do. When you had Kid Austin talking about Shakur, that's what Kid Austin's supposed to do. Now he didn't follow up behind it, but that was what he was supposed to do. That's what the young upcoming stars are doing. As they moving up the ranks, they calling out the guys in front of them. That's what Jawan Booth Ennis did. He was calling out Bud and Earl. That's the same thing that Keith Thurman was doing. He called out Floyd. That's what these guys do. As they move up the ranks, they calling out the guys in front of them. They're not gonna call out people behind them. They're not gonna call out the people that's behind them. They're trying to move. They're trying to move forward. So I don't see that as hate. I see that that's what you're supposed to do. You're the next level. So I need to get to that next level. By me getting to that next level is me fighting you and beating you.
What would you say to that, Coach? I don't know if Coach is still there, but what you think, bro?
Nah, I'm still here. Nah, I ain't falling down those steps.
Coach, my dude. Yeah.
Hey man, look here. Alicia Bumgarner loved the fact of what y'all saying about her. Every great fighter who's in the limelight, they love to be talked about and doubted. It's called fuel. That's what they live off of. They love it. That's what keeps their competitive edge. And I think Coach was right. Now she got to go out there and perform it. She walks the walk. She checks all the boxes. She's a pit bull in a skirt, like Eve said. But now she got to go out there and prove it. And as long as she can prove it, I already think she's the face for women's boxing. I think she checks all the boxes. Clarissa's a great boxer, but I think the average person has gotten tired of Clarissa's attitude. Mm-hmm. I think the average person has gotten tired of the fact that Clarissa keeps hollering she could beat men, but then when the man put her on her back, he was wrong for doing that. I mean, yeah, I think we just got tired of it, and I think to a degree you gotta almost have sympathy for Clarissa because it's coming from I'm not getting my just due when I was always downgraded growing up. So, I think that's part of it. But like I've said before, promoters can promote, coaches can coach, fighters can fight, but only fans say who stars are.
I think that's a good point.
Yeah,
what you think about it? Go ahead.
Nah, Clarissa's tough, man. But like Coach said, like I think people, like, cause Clarissa she got that slick mouth. She gonna be like, she can beat up dudes like with the Keith Thurman stuff. Like, come on, shorty. Like, I rock with you.
Yeah, she's not very ladylike, and I think a lot of
people.
Yeah,
you're not finna go and whoop no Keith Thurman, and Keith Thurman can come off. That's not happening. But like her accomplishments are great, but I guess like people are tired of what she's saying, and and they're confusing it, with her skills. Because people get tired of you and they're like, all right, I'm sick of her running her mouth. I want somebody to whoop her, and it goes both ways, like for the guys too. But she's undeniably the best of this era. I'm not gonna go back with no Layla and no Ann Wolf stuff. I'm talking about what she did now. There's Olympics. She got gold medals. She's done everything. Undisputed 3 divisions. But I know people sick of her mouth, but she's them sisters some of them got slick mouths, man. Come on. So, you know what it is, man. Some of them got slick mouths. It is what it is. She's one of them. That don't mean she can't rumble, because I put her up against any woman in boxing and she gonna rumble them and win.
Yeah, but we seeing her blatantly duck Alicia Bungon. Alicia Bungon
Man,
still
that
beating her.
weight difference is crazy. With Alicia fighting that tomorrow?
I think she fight at what 130, 130, 135?
Yeah, what Shields fight at? Oh, I don't
Like
remember. Refresh my
175.
memory.
And she fight at 175, I believe.
Yeah.
But you guys think about Franchon Cruz saying that, I actually interviewed her. She talked about it before, but you think about Franchon Cruz getting a fight Clarissa Shields for the heavyweight title. What you guys think about that?
I love that fight. I love It's a rematch.
It took too long to get here.
Yeah, but I
That
still
fight
love
should
it
have
though.
happened years ago.
Yeah, you right.
I love the fight. I'm saying it shouldn't have took this long for it to happen.
Yeah.
But once again, at that time, and as tough as that fight was, the powers that be did not want Clarissa derailed. So they waited this long. But I still think the best competition for Clarissa Shields is this fight, Franchon Cruz.
Mm-hmm. I know people want to see Green fighter too, Coach, but I think Franchon is the truth, man. I love Franchon, man. She gonna come and rumble, but I think Clarissa just a little bit better. That's all. I think they're gonna rumble though. I think they're gonna get some shots gonna be landed. It'll be exciting, but I think Clarissa just a little bit better. Franchon, she can rumble too though.
Hey, go ahead, Fred. I gotta grab something real quick.
Yeah, Clarissa. I'm like Coach Wright though. It should have happened a little minute ago though, for real. But since it's happening now, I'm still cool with it. I ain't mad. Like I think I rock with Franchon, and she rock with us. So I support both them sisters, and I just think Clarissa's a little bit more. Not even a little bit. I just think Clarissa's just better. But that don't mean Franchon can't win. She definitely can win because she tough too.
I think if Franchon makes it a tough competition, that from what I've seen of Clarissa over her career, she's technically sound, very fundamental. But if you could lure her into some sort of slugfest or war, her fundamentals kind of start to sliding. She throws wide punches. They begin looping. So if Franchon can get her tricked into that, and she clip her, she has the potential to hurt her real bad. And we've never seen her hurt real bad. What happens if she's on the bad end of getting hurt? Do we know if she has the wherewithal to come back from that? We know she wears her emotions on her sleeve. And sometimes when you crack an egg, you might as well go ahead and break it because it's been cracked.
Bars. I don't know. Like Franchon, I rock with her. Like I said, I rock with Franchon, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, when Clarissa getting them exchanges, she do be doing them looping joints though. Like she swing wide because she be in there fighting. Like it's like she fighting now. And she don't want to get in them kind of exchanges with Franchon, because I don't think Clarissa can hurt her like that. I don't think she can, but I think she can beat her up though, and just outskill. Outskill Franchon. But I don't know. I still want to see the fight.
No, I think you're right. I think you're right with what you're saying. I think that the key to victory for Franchon is not a boxing match. Engage her with rough tactics, a lot of punches. If you don't start the combination on the inside, finish the combination. If you see opportunities when she's tired, sometimes you start shoving that extra body shot to the gut. Sometimes you hit them right on the belt line. You got to make it ugly because what you want to do is take Clarissa Shields out of the comfort zone. When we have seen her come out of her comfort zone, her technique kind of falls off. And if you can catch her in between a momentary technique lapse when emotion takes over, when emotion takes over, she cocks her hook back, trying to get more into it. that may be the crack in the egg that gives Franchon the opportunity to push a straight shot. If you look at the way they fight outside, I give Clarissa the advantage because I think sometimes Franchon, her fundamentals on the outside don't always be there. But on the inside, I think it's the actual reverse. I think Franchon's fundamentals are tighter than Clarissa's.
That's where she
So
can
if
do
I'm
her work at, up close,
right,
personal.
that's what I'm saying. You got to work past the jabbing point. Use your jab to get close, but when you get close in the early round, she's gonna tie you up. That's when you might have to hit the hip. That's when you might have to push the motherfucking body shot into the stomach. When they call break, you might have to push her off. Get into the psyche so she engages on the inside. And like I said, Clarissa wins the outside, Franchon wins the inside. So Franchon needs to get to the inside to give her the best opportunity to win the fight.
Will Franchon sell out to get to the inside? Because if I'm Franchon, I don't feel like Carissa can hurt her. Like, I ain't gonna say that. I take that back. That's tough because anybody can be hurt. But I'm just saying, like Franchon's like I feel like she might have to sell out to get closer so she can do her work like we just talked about. Because when she do get close, she can do some work up close and personal.
I say this: the coaching staff she got with the headbangers. If you look back at Lamont and them, a lot of time during their career, it was that high guard defense and walk you down. This is one of those situations where that may be the actual technique that can give her an opportunity to win this fight. Put your earmuffs on, walk at her, make her have to throw punches. If she can't hurt you, make her exhaust herself with these combinations, but get close. When you get close, you might have to
They only
abandon
got
the
10
jab.
rounds, Coach B, and them 2-minute Jones is corny.
But you got to also think fatigue and conditioning. It kicks in a little differently on the female fighters than it does the male fighters. That's why we were so enamored when Serrano and Katie Taylor fought, because they just seem to give you throwback men fights. But if we're looking for the on average, Clarissa, even as dominant as she is, around round 5, she starts to get tired. So all I'm doing is saying, let's make round 5 get here quicker than normal by making her have to up her work rate.
Yeah, she got to get close. I feel like you hit that on the money, Coach. I feel like she got to get close. If she don't, and then when she do get close, she got to do work. She can't just get close and not do nothing.
Right.
Because Clarissa gonna box and turn, and she got to. When she get there,
let me say this real quick. I gotta laugh about this. My brother D Free sent me an AI video. I looked it up and ran the video. It's AI, bro. He never said that. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson's teams both came out and said that video was fake. But shout out to my man. He sent me a video where they had Mike Tyson saying that he got paid a certain amount of money to not knock Jake Paul out. Man, stop it. Man. The hate is real. They got brothers making AI videos about brothers from Cleveland, man. Shout out to Cleveland, man. Shout out to St. Clair. Shout out to Kinsman, man. Shout out to EC, man. Shout out to Asbury. The hate is real for the city, man. Shout out to the town, man. I had to say that, man. Niggas hate the town, man. Shout out to Cleveland, man. Don't forget, this is a place where Martin Luther King said he loved to stay here, man. Shout out to Martin. What's going on?
Martin ain't eat no cat steaks. Martin ain't never eat no cat steaks.
You cold blooded, man. Shout out to Miss BVO. Her uncle worked at the Cleveland steakhouse and served Dr. King a steak. True story. True story. Served Dr. King a steak. You cold-blooded, man. You a cold-blooded dude, man. But let me ask you guys this, though, man. When y'all talk about, now we already know, when y'all talk about boxing, why is there so much pushback towards a Jake Paul? Don't we need Jake Paul for boxing?
Oh man, you want to do this? Shout out
No,
Crush,
I'm
man.
asking. And the reason
I
I
thought
asked,
we was past that. I thought we was
no,
Yeah,
past
no,
why do
Jake.
we
no.
got to go back? Why we got to revisit Jake
Well, we
Paul?
won't go back. We won't go back to Jake Paul. I ask you guys this: what do you guys think about? There's no major networks other than DAZN supporting boxing. Does that
No,
worry you
that's
guys at all?
yeah. That well, it doesn't worry me, but it's surprising to me because growing up watching HBO, Showtime, and watching the fights when they was on regular TV. When I would fall asleep, but still, mostly watching HBO and Showtime. You know, and then watching PBC. Have what they had and then the zone losing all that money when they first came out, for them to be the only ones standing and surviving is crazy work to me. It's just
Yeah.
crazy.
Hey,
And here,
Pittsburgh. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead. My bad.
Boxing doing this to itself. If you want to ask that question, if you want to ask that
so
question,
be savage, bro.
I mean, if you want to ask that question, go back 20 years ago, go back 30 years ago. We had about 15 stars in the sport of boxing that 4 other guys trying to be stars. Now the promoters aren't trying to make stars. They're trying to just make consistent guys that can put some butts in seats. We getting more avoided fights than we getting made fights because people run around here trying to protect the O. Networks ain't in the networks want to give money for good fights, not give inflated pay scales for subpar fights. If you look at these cards, that's the whole argument I was putting up when we were trying to get the Xander Zayas fight. When we were trying to fight him, that was the only 50-50 fight that could have been made at 54 amongst notable names. We already knew the outcome of all the other fights that were made before they even happened. We knew Boost was going to flatline Lima. We knew Erickson Lubin wasn't going to be able to stand up to Virgil Ortiz. We knew Keith Thurman was going to get injured or something was going to happen, so that fight didn't happen. This was all shit that we knew. Ain't nobody buying tickets to that shit. If you buy a ticket to a Keith Thurman fight, that's like buying a raffle ticket. You never know the outcome.
Hey, when he knocked out Brock, he looked good, but Brock, I can't put too much on him knocking out Brock.
When he knocked out Brock Lee, that's a side dish for a dinner.
That's crazy.
Shout out to my man Brock. He came from like 120 something all the way up to 54. He must have had 2 good meals and came up to 54. But that being said, when we talk about boxing long term, what do you guys think about them saying they're having a hard time getting a fight in Cleveland for Abdullah Mason, saying that the fan base just isn't there for that? What do you guys think about that?
That's not really a big parking lot out back of the McDonald's on Main Avenue, so it's gonna be kind of tough. It's gonna be kind of tough to get that fight out there. But if McDonald's give away free shakes, that shit could be possible.
You a cold dude, man. It's the home of LeBron James, man. Stop it, man. James Ingram, man. Come on, we got the greatest of the greats come out of here, man. What's that old school? I can't think of the old school R&B singer that's from here too, man. I can't think of his name. Can't think of his name. Never mind. Forget.
Man, the only thing people remember about Cleveland is WKRP, and that was in Cincinnati.
Wow, that's crazy. That was
hold on. We have Bone Thugs here, man. Stop that, man.
Bone Thugs. Shout out Bone Thugs though.
Boxing model got to change though, bro. I think boxing model itself got to change because you see in networks they all going to streaming now, and like because they go on to streaming, they got to compete with Netflix. If they got to compete with Netflix, they merging. That's what you see all over the place. So you like the money is changing up on how they invest money in movies. All of this stuff. So boxing, when they do out like budgets, boxing is very small in networks, very small. So if they doing that, you don't see no major movies, no $100-200 million. You don't even see that no more. They going straight to so everything is kind of changing. Boxing eventually is going to end up changing. What that looks like, who knows? Who knows what that looks like? We kind of going through that right now.
I agree with you on that, Coach. I think what's going to happen is the purses are going to come back down to earth, which is going to force fighters to fight more. If you don't want to fight more, I guess your career be over earlier. but that's the only way. It ain't too many Floyd Mayweathers, Canelo Alvarez's, or these heavyweight guys that can make $40-50 million in one night or more and have the desire to get up and fight again in that year. Damn, 3 or 6 months.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think.
Well, let me
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say real quick too. Right now, all of these networks, they're competing just to get the business, so they're just throwing money. Like, you never hear Netflix say how much money they're making off these fights, if they're making money, if they're losing money, what the revenue is. You don't hear any of that. So right now, they're just spending money. At some point, they're going to care about what they're spending and how much they're spending. And I think that goes back to what Coach said. At that point, then they'll start like, okay, how much are we spending? How much are we paying these fighters? Then they'll start trying to shave these numbers down. Right now, it's a free-for-all. Right now, people just guaranteed if they go to Netflix, they're going to get the biggest amount of money they can. They go to Turkey, they're going to get. So at some point, all of these people are going to say, is this worth me putting this kind of money? Okay, I want to be in it, but I don't want to spend this kind of money. I got to actually make some money. Right now, they're just overspending because they're trying to acquire eyeballs and they're trying to acquire talent. So at some point, that stops.
Yeah, Coach. And if you think about it, the networks and the promoters, they not. If you take away Turkey Al-Sheikh, if you take away Jake Paul, you can't think of no promoter that's giving no money out to nobody right now.
No, well,
PBC. If PBC don't have a tank fight, then they ain't got no budget. Top Rank, shit, they ain't giving no massive money away to nobody. Oscar De La Hoya, he fighting on Telemundo. Motherfucking Matchroom, they doing great, but it seems like they're also doing great because they're promoting fights in relations to Turk. You know, if you take them two away from boxing, shit. Hey, what's the chilling circuit guy that promote fights in Cleveland, BVO?
We ain't doing that. Shout out.
Nah. What I'm saying is, if you take Turk,
crazy.
If you take Turk and Jake Paul away from boxing, then all the promoters ain't no better than the chilling circuit dude. The chilling circuit dude might be better because he got live fights going on once a month. The big promoters ain't got shit going on.
That guy is actually in Toledo. I can't think of his name, but he does all the fights in Toledo now. I know exactly what he's talking about. But he's not joking.
You know, Tim. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he does I think 2 shows a month. And that's how they found Jared what's the kid's name? Jared Anderson. That's how they found Jared Anderson, fighting locally with him.
And don't make it too funny. You go look at some of these local cards in the big cities. Mm-hmm. They got named fighters that are fighting on them who are signed with major promoters, but haven't reached the big level. They fighting them through them cards.
Yeah, they don't have the
money. The money ain't there. That money dried up. This gotta change. That's why I'm saying if these boxers talking about they want to keep this business going, they got to become realistic in the concept of what you're gonna make.
You think they're being unrealistic?
That's tough,
man. When you not the NFL, when you not Major League Baseball, when you not the NBA, and you want those type of checks, you just not being realistic. Where's the money coming from? Do you realize we ran every network out of boxing because they started having $200 or $300 million fights? They said, "Shit, we ain't even making that money back."
Not even close.
That's a
They're
fact.
not making.
They just cutting checks.
Yeah.
Like today at my job. Now I make good money at my job. I literally did nothing. I sat in my car because they wanted to do stuff they way. They still gotta pay me. You know what I'm saying? So
shout out to Chico, man.
And shout out to me. Chico's long gone retired. Shout out to me.
That's the reason why they kept
getting that easy money.
Shout out to Chico, man, for making
that's like when I sat at work all day and they say, you know what, we're gonna pay you this. And in return they get nothing because I didn't do nothing. So it's the same thing.
They can't
But that's
have you.
sports
They
in
can't have
general,
you. They can't have you on the doggone excavator all day, Doc.
Man,
though.
yes, they did. Yes, they did. I do way more than excavator. That's easy. That's light work.
But
The
no, I'm
real work
saying.
is bringing them
Go ahead.
But that's sports
65-foot
everywhere.
steel beams. That's some real work. Real man
Yeah,
ish
but
right there,
that's
boy.
Yeah, but that's sports period. Because look, you got to think all them people that was the majors in sports. They done all ran to the internet. All the commentators, all the sports shows, all
DP.
everything. Even the advertisers done ran to the internet. So you got DraftKings, all these people. They putting major ads, spending major. Everybody done ran to the internet. So that just lets you know, like this, like the boxing was built on the backs of television networks and broadcasting it from live TV and people huddling around the TV. That model is over in pay-per-view. That's all gone. So they're still trying to get money like that still exists. It don't. So like how they're going to change this thing, I don't know. I just know that they're still looking for money from places that don't exist no more. And the places that got the money, they're not doing that no more. They're not conducting business like that no more. That's not happening no more.
TV don't exist no more because of the internet. So it's not just boxing. TV doesn't exist anymore because of the internet. And the only way to save boxing is to put it back on the internet for free and put it back on free TV. Like when CBS, ABC, Wide World of Sports, ESPN Tuesday Night Fights, USA Friday Night Fights. That's how you bring it back. You got to go back to that model, because if not, you turn the boxing into Rolls Royces. The only people who can afford it can get it, and that's not the masses. That's the minority.
And you know
Then
what's
you
so
got to go
funny
to
about
big
you
tech
saying
for
that?
that. Go ahead.
You know the funny thing about that, and shout out to my man Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, I like Pittsburgh, man. He one of those guys, man, who give really thoughtful intakes. I appreciate you, man. But I gotta say this.
Yeah, shout out
That's what.
Pittsburgh T.
That's why you got guys like us. Because I'll be honest with you, I've never really met any broke boxing fans. I just never. I've never met any because no, and I'm gonna say why I say that. Because to even consume boxing, you gotta have money. You gotta have money for a phone.
Me.
I think that's you. You gotta have money. You gotta have the ability to be able to go to some of the fights, and on top of that, you usually gonna consume it on your phone. So you got a phone that costs you $100 to $200 a month. You got internet. You got that. You got a streaming service. You got to pay. So you pay for so much just to consume boxing. Well, you can watch the NFL for free. As long as you pay your cable bill, you can watch NFL. And I think that's the
stuff ain't free.
But hold on 1 second. What I'm saying is this: it sucks to think that the sport that we love we got the money. You know what boxing reminds me of? The healthcare system. We spend the most money in the world on healthcare, but still have the lowest access point to healthcare. That's what boxing is. We spend so much money. All these fights are pretty much going out of business sales. You ever see the old sales where we got mattresses 75% off? We got baby shoes 25% off. We got oil. We got deodorant 50% off. I don't know if you guys ever had like a Rite Aid or something closed. It's like that. It's a sale. They starting to sell the freezers. And I think boxing can't survive in that chaos. Nobody can survive on chaos, man. What Coach is saying is true. We got to get back to the worldwide of sports. I did hear that Turkey is setting something up with CBS, and they're trying to get back, bringing the Yellow Jackets back, because people like the nostalgia, man. People like the nostalgia. They want to see free boxing on CBS. That's what Muhammad fought. That's what Sugar Ray Leonard fought. And I'm excited about it because I think it's going to be good. And I was one of the biggest haters of Zuffa boxing, but I'm glad that Zuffa boxing is coming so we can actually get a handle on this thing that we call boxing, so we can see some great fights. What would you guys say to that?
I think most of the money is in social media. I think like that whole model's done. Like we can't go backwards. Like what they need to do, they need to go like, look at the budgets. Facebook spent like billions of dollars for the last 2 years on this metaverse that nobody ever heard of, and they eventually stopped. But they were spending like upwards of $100 million a quarter for like 2 years on this thing that they never did. So like the amount of money that big tech has and boxing's budget is nothing. That's where they need to go. They need to go to the Facebooks. They need to go to the Amazons. They need to go to the Googles, because their budgets are so massive that they'll be able to put the fights on, and it wouldn't cost them much, and they'll be able to take care of the fighters, and you just wouldn't get any of the stuff you have, and boxing will be supported. Now, when you start trying to do media deals with networks, because all these networks are all merging up, and we don't even know what the landscape is going to look like next year. Like in a couple of months, it's going to change up. Paramount's going to start doing UFC. Netflix is in the process of now. Warner Brothers accepted the Netflix deal. So like even the networking landscape is changing. So their best bet is big tech. Google ain't going nowhere. Amazon ain't going nowhere. Facebook ain't going nowhere. TikTok ain't going nowhere. Twitter ain't going nowhere. These are all platforms that can easily contain boxing, and their budgets are nothing compared to the billions of dollars that these people make every couple months. It's crazy how much money they make. Boxing just ain't that big. That's where they need to go. They just going to the wrong place.
When you say go there, kind of break it down for me, man, for us that don't know what you mean when you say go there. Like, how can they go there without an invitation? That's my question.
Well, okay, I'll give you an example. Best example I could put like this. YouTube Music, right? YouTube Music, notoriously during COVID, everybody was making a bunch of money. Everybody was trying to be a social media influencer. They hired Leo Cohen as the guy to run a certain part of YouTube. Once they hired that guy is notorious for running the 360 deal. Once they hired that guy, everybody amount of money that they was getting paid got knocked down. And then people started going to other platforms looking for money because they figured that they was paying them too much money. And YouTube has the right to do it, and they have the authority to do it, and nobody can do anything about it. The thing is that these people, if they want to give you something, it's really nothing to them. If they want to take something away from it, it's nothing to it. But they have a guy that's in charge of that, like a Leo Cohen. That's somebody from the PBC or these promotional companies can go talk to and try to get on these platforms. It's really not that hard. The problem is that they just don't want to do it because seems like nobody wants to be the first to jump off the sinking ship. But somebody need to get off this ship because the things that they're doing, they're always going to keep struggling for this one piece of bread. They got to go where everything is at. They can stop getting this famine food. That's what we're getting, is famine food. They can actually get some steak because these people, like these big tech companies, they throw away more money in a month than boxing can probably even fathom in years. Like, it's just crazy how much they spend. So that's where they need to go.
So if they was able to go over there, you basically saying we got to get like a liaison for a promotional company to get over there and kind of ask for that opportunity. If I'm saying that, I don't want to misquote you.
Yeah, because they already got a person. Like they like, look, the streamers have a person. If you watch like the Costanots and those guys, they'll go to like YouTube headquarters and they'll be talking to the guy who's the guy over the streamer. And they talking to the guy and they're like, yeah, they built me a custom van and this and that. They know, them people know who the people are. We don't know who the people are. They know who the people are inside of these networks. Google is a network. Google ain't just the internet. Like, Google has its own thing, its own platform, everything about it. Like, YouTube is such a small piece of actual Google. It's crazy. Same thing with Facebook. That's a whole thing. TikTok, now that down America's running that's a whole thing. Like, there's plenty of them that have plenty of money that they just got to start thinking outside the box and stop fighting over these scraps. Because that's what they're doing, is fighting over scraps. And if they want to keep doing that, cool. I just, me personally, I could be wrong. I just don't see the need in doing it when it's so much money on the other end and they spend so much more money on the other end. It just don't make no sense. It's just crazy what they're doing and how they're conducting.
Yeah, I mean, dang, you really making some good point. What you think about what he's saying, Coach?
I actually agree with him 100%. And I actually had this conversation several times years ago, but then somebody brought something to my attention that kind of messed me up. Why would Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube pay for something that the very next day they give for free anyway?
What's exclusiveness? It's exclusiveness. That's all it is. It's exclusivity. Come over here, you can see it live. Like this show, this is a live show. I mean, there's more people that's going to want to see it live than they will want to see the rebroadcast. Like people can watch the Super Bowl clipped up if they want to, but they want to see the live broadcast.
I got you, but you know they look at it like, hey, everybody that go to the grocery store that ain't got no money, they look at that meat that got that yellow sticker on it that say $5. Shit, they don't mind if it's yesterday or today.
Coach is out of control.
They don't mind if it's yesterday or today.
That was crazy.
And you already see stuff like Pro Box. You can watch their cards live on YouTube. They
Shout
not
out
paying.
ProBox.
Yeah, I don't have any knowledge of them paying Pro Box. Once again, it's a hell of a platform, but it all goes back to you got to give people this shit for free if you want people to actually stay tuned in. Kids wouldn't watch cartoons if they had to pay for them.
But you can do it from the internet though. But you can do it from big tech because it wouldn't, like, for them to absorb them salaries is nothing. They wouldn't. It wouldn't be nothing for them. Like it just really wouldn't. And you would get more fights because now you take the money out of it. You've eliminated the whole fight about money. It's gone.
Now I agree with you, but I think that's what HBO and Showtime thought. Till these damn inflated ass purses got to the point where it made them think twice. Shit,
Well,
even the richest man got a budget.
Well, that's different. But see, remember HBO and Showtime, they stopped during the time of the streaming started going. Like when streaming started, you didn't even get like major movies no more during COVID. They weren't investing money going into or coming out of COVID. You didn't get like the a bunch of like crazy budgets for movies and stuff. You just didn't. They kind of dragged all that money. They kind of restructured
They'll never
all
get
that.
those budgets. You're right. They'll never get those budgets out again. Only people with them budgets is motherfucking Marvel and DC Comics. Them the only people with them type of budgets.
Yep, and even them, they kind of being mindful of it. So if they're doing that with them and they're way bigger, I just think you have to go where the money is. And when you go where the money is, first of all, if they're gonna get invested, you're gonna have to put on way more fights. They're not gonna put money in that stuff and you give them 2 fights a year. That's not gonna happen. So you're gonna get more boxing. Just like the UFC that's now in a couple of weeks, they're gonna start up firing majority of their stuff up on Paramount. People who like UFC, they're gonna get more UFC fights because it's on Paramount. So the barrier for you to get it is right there. You just pay for the subscription for the entire year. And then Paramount, the budget for UFC ain't that much to Paramount itself. So it allows them to put on more fights. That's what boxing is going to have to do, or portions of boxing, because I don't think you could do all of boxing because it's not all cohesive like that. Like UFC is just one unit. It's all broke up into these different promoters and managers and all this other stuff, but you can get certain segments over there to start the ball rolling, and it just really wouldn't be much. So I just don't see why people haven't brokered that part of it. But it's almost to like Jake Paul, because when we see people do stuff out of the box, people start fighting it because it's different. But that's what you can't make what different looks like. You can only say it's different. You can't get mad because it's different, because the stuff we have right now, it's not going to work. So it's going to be different no matter what we have. So we can't fight the different. And I see a lot of times that's what people do. They just fight different just because.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think too, man, I think you got a really good understanding on like Google and the tech world. And I think sometimes, man, people don't understand that most people have a very limited grasp on technology. And I'll tell you how that is, because I'm a sales manager, so I do like a lot of ads and stuff for my job, and I use very simple tools. And it's funny, they actually used to pay like advertisers thousands of dollars back in the day to do some of the stuff I do. And it's funny how that works now, because it's made faster. People don't necessarily want to pay what the actual pay is for it because it's done so much faster. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I think that's a hard thing to go, because I'm gonna be honest with you, boxing has to do something as far as getting a network that'll invest with them long term. I think Al Heyman had the right idea. I think his age and his health worked against him a little bit, but he had the right idea when he was putting those shows on Fox, man. When the PBC stopped doing Fox, that's the only reason why Errol Spence became a household name. That's why people do the Charlos, because they was on Fox. Remember when they would promote Fox, when Fox first got that little channel where they had Skip Bayless and all, and you see Fox is not even in that same kind of business no more. You don't see the Fox Sports like you had. All those guys, Winston Marsalis, Michelle Beadle, all those people are gone. What's his name? Colin Cowherd, he's gone. That whole thing that they did back there is gone. So everything's kind of going to the internet. And that's what makes it so cool for me, is because guys like us get an opportunity to see the pay scale go up, because you're getting way more talent into the space. It makes it tougher. Yeah, it kind of sucks that a guy like Timothy Bradley can come off the street and get 50,000 subscribers and it take me time where we got 5 million views, but it took me 3 years to do it. I mean, but all you can do is kind of play as you go and let your talent do the rest. And I think that's what boxing got to do. They got to bet on itself, man. But that being said, I got to ask you guys, this is something I really want to know, man. As far as boxing, do you guys think they should do like a league for for the prospects to maybe build up boxing? Because I think we got to do something about the heavyweight division, because we have not seen an American heavyweight be busy in a long time. You got Jared Anderson, he's been inactive. You got Michael Hunter, he's been inactive. Andy Ruiz has been inactive. I mean, F.Ed Jogba's been inactive. It's just like all the guys we have in boxing have been super inactive. Do you guys think we got to have like a type of system like for heavyweight boxing? What do you guys think?
Nah, you talking about promotion? I don't think so. Like, look, UFC got big people. We all kind of know UFC more or less when they start having that reality show on the house. Like, and we don't even know if they was good or bad. We just knew the drama about the house, and we knew them two dudes was gonna end up fighting. Boxing can do something similar, and they would have to put it on the internet. They had to put it on Facebook, put it on TikTok. TikTok probably they can do something like that and put it on TikTok. It'll get more views and more casual fans than anything. And to be in long form, like that's not even something they really do. Like there's a bunch of social media outlets that they can go to and they can do the same thing, but putting that on network TV, that would just get buried. Nobody would see it. It would have to go to a TikTok. It would have to go to a YouTube. It would have to go to a Instagram. Like that's where they would have to put that. If they're not going to do that, then I don't even know what they're doing. They're going backwards. That's where everything is at. That's where you have to go, because that's where everything ends up at anyways. So you have to go that's where all the young people are. That's where everybody is. Even the networks are going there. They're putting their stuff. The networks are putting their stuff on there. So no, if they're not going to do that, I just think that the idea that they keep trying to go back to this network stuff, the networks, that's cool. But if the networks ain't streaming and if the networks ain't online and they're not tied into social media, then you just, it's already, you already got it 1 foot in the grave. You're just digging it deeper. You're not really helping yourself.
Well, I'm asking you that because you've seen like people our age, and I can only speak to our demographic. A lot of us are in our early to mid 30s and older. I think a lot of people our age miss the old times. That's why you're seeing Tony Romo and them in the old school CBS jackets. You see that when you had him, Tom Brady wearing the yellow jackets again, like John Madden and Al Michaels used to wear. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. They had Joe Buck, all them guys wearing like the stuff you used to see back in the day. I think people want the networks to come back. I think the networks are going to come back through streaming. But I think people want to consume TV the way our fathers did, the way our grandparents did, because they got told stories. And no matter what, storytelling is still going to always be a part of it. It's like boxing. I don't think we got enough heroes and villains in boxing. I think that Terrence Crawford did himself a disservice by not being more evil. Because you got to remember, that's what made Floyd Floyd. When Floyd was blowing kisses and telling everybody how much he loved the sport, how thankful he was to have the opportunity, he didn't make the money he made. He became Money Mayweather for 11 fights and made more money than he ever could have imagined because he was being evil. I think that's the thing we got to get back to in boxing. We got to get back to building villains and heroes. I think that's what boxing's missing. Now, what would you say to that, Pittsburgh? Our coach, what would you got to say to that?
That's part of it. They got to build stories up for people better. Like look, the greatest American history, American construct you got now is that you can see where people go from nothing to something real fast. It's similar to boxing. Is America's Got Talent, and that's more about people knowing people's story than the actual talent of the person. Because before the person performs, they want to know where they came from, what their story is, and then even the people that's performing, they start going into the bit. They start telling you, yeah, my wife passed, or I got cancer, or whatever it is. They playing up to building up the backstory. They're being their own PR person before they actually perform to get people in. So if they have figured out that out, I think that's the part that's the other part that boxing has to figure out. I know some people are a little bit more wittier with the internets and on media content period, and some aren't. I think some of these folks, they need to start hiring PR people, because you can have more detriment by not having really any movement at all with PR if you don't have a Bill Haney or somebody that can actually move content So, and even those people, with the actual fighter themselves, some actual fighters themselves need somebody to control their phone, need somebody to put out certain stuff to get some traction. So I think this whole thing has to be, people got to start thinking about this stuff the way that we've been thinking about it, because it's changing. If everything is changing and you want to stay the same, that just don't make any sense. Even when we go to the gym, we lift more weights. You can't go to the gym and still keep lifting the same weights. So why would we think that we can just keep these same business models? Not unless you're trying to be Radio Shack, Sears, or whatever the rest of these failing businesses is. That's the only ones that just thought they had it under control, bro.
Hold on, Pittsburgh. You a wild nigga, man. That brother said, "Let y'all trying to be Radio Shack." Hey,
I'm just
shout out
saying,
to Radio Shack. Man, shout out to Radio Shack. You know, Radio Shack, you go there and get your phone upgraded for free. Y'all remember now, it used to be free to get your phone upgraded. Oh boy, Pittsburgh, you a cold-blooded dude, man. I'll tell you that right now, man. But I'll say this, I definitely agree with that. I just think the sad part is, I think people are always chasing the past because the past is romanticized. I mean, you hear people all the time talking about what they did as children. Oh, I remember I used to go here and get the hot cotton candy. Or I used to go here and get this, I get that. And it's just like, you know, prime example, man, I was listening to Mark Kriegel. That's a writer, right? And he was talking about the Jake Paul fight being disgusting. And I thought to myself, guess what, Mark Kriegel? You're not going to be able to bring boxing back to what it was in the 60s and 70s, man. That whole time is over. Like, you ever see the pictures from the 60s and 70s, like when they used to still smoke, like in the arenas? The pictures look different because you had like smoker stuff in the air. Everything is so controlled and everything is such perfect environment. Like, just think about it. Most of your NFL's franchises are inside now. What's the purpose of even playing football if we always inside? What you think? It's just because they want to have everything controlled. Everything has to be perfect. Everything has to be a certain way. And I think that's why you hear the old heads screaming, well, I had it rougher in my day, or I had it rough in this day. At the end of the day, man, the product is the same. There's nothing new under the sun, but we got to go with things that actually work. And Pittsburgh, I ask you this. Do you think we have another superstar coming out of boxing? Because I don't see it. Do you?
Yeah, but it's going to be a little different. I think the new stars, it's going to be the norm is to look at the skill level. I think the skill level starts diminishing in this new time and age. The person that's more marketable is going to be the biggest star. Like, it's not going to be, and that's why they struggle with Jake Paul, because he's brand new and he's already to the top of this. So your skill level, what people assume that should make you to the top, is going to be less where it is than you actually bringing people to the sport. Like, that's what it's going to be nowadays. That's what's going to make you a star at this point. What we're looking at right now, because the skill level it's not the end all be all where it used to be the thing. And I think that's what some of these old heads are kind of like struggling with. It's not, that's part of it, but that's not the thing no more.
Yeah, you an ice cold dude, Pittsburgh. That's what, just never knew you was this ice cold. You a wild boy, man. So let me ask you this: if I could say in a perfect world, give me 3 fights that you want to see coming up. Give me 3 fights that you want to see in the perfect world coming up for 2026.
Well, remember, I'm a casual. All the fighters I pretty much know, they pretty either out the door, they got 1 foot out the door. They done been on their back like a Raid commercial. So I don't really know, bro. I see all these dudes kind of getting up out of here. All the name guys, like the hardcores will have better information than that than me. You know, I know some of these guys. Terrence leaving. I don't know what Canelo's doing. No idea. AJ, who knows what happens to him after this fight. Deontay, he got 1 foot out the door. Like, all the big heavyweights are pretty much out of here. And then the youngsters, they kind of so unproven. You got a few of them that you want to see fight, but I don't really know. I don't know because of the promotion stuff.
You don't think a fight like Lewis Crocker versus Devin Haney is a good fight?
It would be different. It's okay, but I don't think they talk enough to promote the fight.
Yeah, see, I gotta have you on the panel more, man, because I like how you talking, man, because I think you actually telling the truth about it. I think that's one of the things that hurts Devin Haney is that he doesn't talk enough. And people say, no, that's his dad's job. No, it's everybody's job to sell. That's what we say all the time when I was growing up in the dealerships. It's everybody's job to sell, whether it's the woman picking people up, taking them to work while their car getting fixed, or it's the guy doing the oil change. It's everybody's job to sell this product. And I think in boxing, it's a lot of this is not my job. You think that's what I think? You think that's a part of boxing too? This is not my job. Everybody want to tell you what their job is not.
I think he could be trained. I think the problem is you could be trained and people don't want to be trained. Because I don't think he's good at media, but he can have media training. He can also go to what they call them psychiatrists that deal with sports. What they call them? Sports psychiatrists. Yeah. Yep. You go to one of them, do some media training, and I think that needs to be part of the package for all of them. And that would help all of them. Because look at Shador. Shador Sanders is a prime example of a young person who because of who his daddy was, he got media training. So you see it now on display when he does those press conferences, how he avoids questions, how he's playful with them. Even when they try to jam him up, he does it in a playful way. Why? Because he's used to the cameras. He's got the personality. He doesn't get shaken from it. A lot of people can't really handle that kind of stuff. They haven't gotten... He's been in the media probably, 6-7 years because of his dad. Even though he's brand new in the NFL, he's got plenty of media training, and he's got the confidence of the family and all of that. So not having that could be a detriment. So if you take the media training away from Shador, where he is right now, it throws him on the ground. So the media training pushes you way up to the top. Because all you have to do is go out there and really tell the truth about that coach, and they'll flame him up the next day. We all know this. But because he got media training, he flies above it.
You know, it's funny. It's funny you say that, man, and that's why I'm glad we're having this conversation, because one of the guys I used to like to watch was Jason Woodlock, right? But I kind of realized that Jason Woodlock is a stone cold hater, and it's like the stuff he said about Shador. I've never seen a nigga not do anything, and constantly has said that he's not doing something right. I mean, whether it was being picked, not getting to play, and then some of the throws you see him making, right? Me being a Cleveland Browns fan, I'm biased, I'll be honest with you. I can't believe that it would be a question, like Floyd Senior said. It ain't even a question. He would be my new franchise quarterback. That's a fact. Because at the end of the day, he's showing something we ain't seen in 20 years here in Cleveland. And that's a capable quarterback. Deshaun Watson couldn't do it, and all the other dudes couldn't do it. There's like a running stat and a joke of how bad the quarterbacks are in Cleveland, right? And you got idiots like me who will spend a king's ransom to watch my team get beat to death, be dead. You know, out of all the games me and Miss BVO went to, brother, I can only think about maybe 2 or 3 games that we actually won. And they was preseason games, the ones we went to that we won. We go in there and get scraped. So the best we could do, get a good bite to eat, because I love to sit in the club, get a good bite to eat, maybe get a little something to sip on, but you're pretty much watching your team get beat to death. And to hear people say insane things like Shador Sanders is too cocky. What? I seen Shador Sanders in the hood, right? They had a real bad apartment fire in East Cleveland. Bunch of niggas got cooked like meat, burnt up, crispy, extra crispy, right? Shador go down there and buy these folks clothes, pay for hotel stays, but they don't bring that up. Shador's first thing when he came to Cleveland, he went to the hood and went to the local high school, Shaw High School. Like, I just don't understand. Is it Shador's race? But what did Deion do for his son to be put through this? What would you say to that, Pittsburgh?
He became great. He shattered all these niggas still talking about high school, and they ain't been in high school in 20 years. Nobody want to hear about your high school story, bro. Nobody cares. So when you get a person like that, whose son comes behind him, they start hating him immediately. He ain't gonna be nothing. He's just like that because his daddy. And he's steady achieving because, a male ego is a fragile thing, bro. It really is, man. And, a lot of people make excuses. That's one of the gripes I have with some of these athletes. When they make some of these excuses, I get it to a degree. But then it becomes to the point, that's when it starts turning. It's a point where it's a line where it can turn into hate. Because your excuses are just that. And it just looks like what it is. So in order for you to validate it, you have to do certain things. You got to start hating on people. So if a person comes out of the same situation that you came out of, or even better, and they figure it out, then you look kind of crazy. And I think that's a lot of it. And people look through some of these young folks, because it's mostly these old 40-year-old pluses like us, they're looking at these young men and they should be happy for these young men, bro. But they can't because some kind of way they feel like they didn't accomplish something. So they got to feel like they got to dump on them to make themselves feel good. A lot of these dudes got different issues. And to me, I think that's what most of it is. And remember, Deion is an active father in this young man's life. And that seems to be a running thing in our community. Whenever these young men and 20-something have active fathers in their life and they see successful, they get more hate than the dude that's out there doing all this crazy stuff. And it's like we promote, and that's another problem within that's just a community thing. I don't know it's isolated to our community, but we seem to be having these weird names for people who do the right thing. We call them squares, we call them lame, we do all this stupid stuff, and that we promote ignorance. And that's part of the degeneracy that we promote. So he goes against that because he ain't been in no trouble. His father ain't did nothing crazy. So that's part of the problem. So the only thing they're on left with is the liberal white media just telling them the start nonsense that they're on. And they just pick up the banner, and Jason Whitlock pick up the banner for that stuff, and he don't even realize those talking points. I'll say this and I'll close it. It's almost like the Al Heyman hate. The Al Heyman hate is so crazy because if you really think about it, everybody only got one picture of Al Heyman. I ain't never seen this man speak ever in my life. All I've seen is that one picture, bro. How could you hate somebody that you never heard him say nothing, bro? And everything is assumed by just gossip. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, you still there?
Yep, I'm still here.
Why you quiet, man? We talking about some real stuff, man. I'm surprised you quiet, man.
Nah, man, I'm hearing some good conversation. Conversation.
So I ask you this, Coach. You're more experienced than me at being a father. I'm just saying, this is the thing I wonder. When you see what's going on with Shador, right? What I don't understand is Deion was never known for drinking. Deion was never known for being out with the women. Well, he hung out and had a good time, but never nothing negative. I'm just wondering, like, how in the world did we get to this place in life where you can't seem to win for losing when it comes to, these fighters? I don't know why they can't seem to win. I mean, what more can Deion do? Because it seems like Deion, I've never heard Deion say nothing but talk about God all day and they still hate him. What is that, like a racial thing? Because I hate to always jump to that. What is it that make them hate Deion and his kids like that? What you say to that, Coach?
Everything Deion did, Deion succeeded at. And you didn't get a chance to jab him, so you got to hope you get a chance to jab his kids. I heard a story that the lady that's married to Stefanski, her father was the guy that Deion threw the cooler on when he was in with the Atlanta Braves. He threw all the water on him. I heard that. Yeah, when he said real tough, Deion. But once again, if it is, that man got to live with his wife. And she probably give him an earful. I know you're not going to let him start and play after what he did to my father. But like I said, Primetime was a polarizing guy when he was an athlete. You didn't get a chance to ride him because he didn't fail. So you got to take the next best option that you can, and that's go at his kids. And I'm for the 90%, his kids are doing everything right, and I can't say there's nothing wrong. He got the if I'm not mistaken, he got the second highest selling jersey in the league.
Yeah, he made $12 million off his jerseys, just off his jersey this year.
Yeah. So if that's the case, he winning. And if I'm him, I'm gonna keep on doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna keep on collecting these checks. Because if he do what he do, they'll get rid of Stefanski before they get rid of him.
Yeah. But I guess the thing, this the thing is when you have guys like Jason Whitlock, and I'm not just trying to single him out, but I feel like he really gets like a hard on to like go at black men. Where do you think that comes from when you see guys that look like us make it their business to attack us? What would you say to that, Coach?
Man, ain't nobody stunting no Jason Whitlock. What did Jason Whitlock ever do besides talk about athletes who are doing what they do.
Oh, that's it.
So if that's where he gets his thrill or he makes his money, you can't be mad at him. He's a professional. It just happens to be a professional hater.
Yeah, but there's not. See, this is the thing. I'm like, see, you in your 50s, so you know. At 50 years old, I always see guys kind of want to give back, but it seemed like Jason is like one of those guys who's like content on like he had a whole show about how Shador is arrogant and how he, you know, he's a hip hop kid who doesn't understand decorum. But I'm thinking to myself, what if Shador did that stuff that we used to see DeJuan Wagner do, or that stuff we used to see Allen Iverson? I guarantee Allen Iverson wouldn't be a star in today's NBA because they would have hated him.
He'd be a star. Allen Iverson had that Bruce Leroy glow. He was going to be a star in any generation.
Even with all the haters?
He was going to be a star. He was going to be a star in any generation. He had that Bruce Leroy glow.
Yeah, because he's not a beta male. Yeah, he's not a beta male. See, these dudes is beta, like you said, beta male earlier. That's what these dudes. They all beta males. See, that's like, and when they start talking about people being overly confident or arrogant, that just lets you know they ain't never accomplished shit. Like, how could you accomplish anything and not be confident? Like, what almost borderline in arrogance? Like, you have to believe in yourself in a crazy way. It just don't make any sense any other kind of way. Like, it's almost like that Snoop acceptance speech that he gave when he got up there and said, I want to thank me for getting up in the morning. Like, that's what you got to believe. That's beta male thinking if you don't think no other kind of way. Because if you can't believe in yourself, it's just crazy. And Allen Iverson changed the culture of basketball. Not just he was a great player. He brought cornrows, tattoos, the whole culture. Remember they changed dress code behind him. He had the whole NBA switched up.
Yeah, he brought the NBA to the hood. He brought the NBA to the hood.
Yep.
So when I and I'm gonna say this, when I bring up a name like Detroit Red, I think people don't understand that if you constantly dog and treat like an animal, Detroit Red, he can never become Malcolm. Is it just me, or they don't let in this new society there's no such thing as giving room for growth? That's my question.
Man, you better learn
room for growth.
Man, you better learn how to grow yourself. That's the problem. You looking for somebody to give you room for growth.
I'm saying as a person, I'm talking about in the media, they don't let people grow up. They always keep people in the box of whatever the worst thing was they ever did, as was constantly plays the worst thing they ever did. Like you still hear about. Go ahead.
Only way you can be put into a box is if you put yourself in one. You got guys that have made amazing livings in entertainment and in sports who came from prison. And they did it because they didn't allow somebody else to tell them what their box was. That's that young thinking of this era. Man, they told me I can't be this, I can't be that. I mean, nobody wants to fight for what they want no more. The minute somebody say something that you don't like about you, yourself, or the people you support, we call them haters. But the minute they talk about somebody you love and support, then they good. I mean, you can't have it. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways.
I feel like that's a constant thing that we dealing with. Go ahead.
Well, you just can't listen to him, bro. Cause like, look, the other problem with Deion is Deion and Bo Jackson came along and did a thing that nobody had ever seen. The thing what they did is they played professionally on a high level in two sports that people clamor just to get in on one level. And then Deion did it with such flash. If you was a beta, you really had a problem with that man. He would go to a baseball game in Atlanta or wherever the baseball game is and fly, get on a helicopter or a plane and fly to the game and not even practice and get out there and they kick the ball off and he just ran 2 touchdowns back and do it in style. So he just didn't care. So I just think that people that don't care, they're unapologetically them, people who are betas are always going to have problems with that. because they lack confidence and they don't have no guidance. They gotta. That's what look. Those kind of people are who they write articles for. They write articles for people who can't distinguish information themselves. They can't give people like them stats. They need somebody to distinguish the stats and tell them what they're looking at. That's what they made ESPN for. That's what they made the Stephen A. Smiths for. They don't know what they're looking at. That's what they made that for. Everybody else don't have no problem with them kind of people. But it's way less people of those. All those other people, they get offended. They think that's offensive. And that's the problem. You got a lot of those people because these young men ain't doing young men stuff no more. They being coached out of that. Some kind of way it's wrong now.
Yeah. Yeah. But one thing I will say, I do like the fact that you see the kids, they're not as violent for no reason like I remember kids being. I do like that part of it. I mean, I just think overall, man, we just got a really bad problem of people not understanding that the little things do matter. You know what I mean? I feel like that's something that's missing. Like not just in sports, just in life, man. Like it's like everybody worried about the big things, but they don't understand. It takes time to get to the top. It takes time to grow. I don't get why that's not understood. That's something that blows my mind. What do you say to that?
Man, I'm tired of this Carl Thomas society we live in. Everybody emotional. I miss when I was a kid. You had to be tough. Ain't no more toughness out here. Ain't no more toughness out here. Everybody wants you to be their friend. Everybody wants you to talk good about them. Man, I don't understand this. You got bullying. You ain't even got to bully a person in person no more. You can do it over the internet. What's next? He keep mailing me letters and talking about me in letters and I'm bullied. Come on, man. This concept of soft and how do we negate soft is so horrible, man. Shador ain't complaining about this shit, so why am I complaining about it? I praise the young man for his toughness because he smiled about it every day. But then I had to think back. What reason do Shorty got to frown? He been rich literally all his fucking life.
Yeah, that's a good point.
How about I feel bad for the lady who worked 87 years and still ain't retired?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Hey, we have what I always tell you, man. We be talking about rich nigga problems. We be talking about rich nigga problems. Them not our problems. Them rich nigga problems.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Hey, look, he, and I love the fact that he helped some people that was fucked up in the fire. But you know, if he go down to the grocery store every day, he can help out some people who $20 short.
You're a wild boy.
I just don't. I mean, it's like I used to tell people. Your best friend makes some good mixtapes and you don't even hit the like button when he posts them on Instagram, but you had the nerve to tell Lil Wayne happy birthday. Nigga, you don't even fucking know Lil Wayne. That's the shit to get me. That's the shit to get me. We on Jason Whitlock's ass about something that he's doing to a rich kid that don't know us. And I ain't got no problem with it, but
what?
Damn, what about the little kids you know down the block that get beat up after school every day?
Yeah.
That's what I mean, that rich man problem.
I'll say this. I don't necessarily see the young kids. They don't really be fighting like that no more.
Oh, nah. It's still some kids getting the flapjacks beat out of their ass. It's still kids getting the flapjacks beat out of their ass.
Yeah, but they really can't, BVO. Because look, if a kid in junior high and high school get into a fight, they got school resource police there now in most of these schools, which we didn't have. So they hitting them with assault charges and all kind of. They can't even have regular. They done took the fight up out of these kids before they leave high school. They domesticated. Like they domesticated all these young bulls.
Hey, coach, that shit ain't working in DC. These motherfucking lions down here. They beating up the little security police in the school. These youngest lions down here. I don't know what that school district is. I can't speak about no other school district. But these youngest They put
No, they still got
I
them.
ain't
They
talking
just
about.
put them
I
out
ain't
of the
talking about.
schools.
Nah,
No, they
I'm
put them
not
out of
talking about in
schools.
pockets. Yeah, I'm talking about the schools. Damn, I ain't talking about in certain pockets. I'm talking about all over. I live in Southeast DC. They steal animals.
Well, that's the
They
hood,
Oh no,
steal
man.
you
for
still
real.
you still gonna have those kids. What I'm saying is, like, they're still gonna fight. Boys gonna be boys, right? It's just how the schools is determining to deal with it. That's the problem. Because they kicking them out of these schools. Because a lot of these schools that have all these programs, they consider them magnet programs. And they have zero tolerance for those things, which is insane. I remember
Man,
my nephew got into a fight and the school was telling him, he in the magnet program, telling him you can only meet force with force. So he hit you, you slammed him and kicked him. You can't do all that. Like, wait a minute, what? Like, that's part of their retarded policy. We
man.
down there arguing with them, like, what are y'all talking about? But of course, it ain't gonna stop a young boy from being a young boy. But what I've noticed in most of these school districts, men aren't really in the education realm like that no more. They just not. So you have a lot of women that's making up of these policies. They don't understand young boys and how we operate. So to them, it's foreign because they thinking the way that they deal with stuff. That's not how boys deal with stuff. We fight. We might fight with our friends. I don't know how many times to be cool with them. You know, that's just what we do. Women don't do that. If they fight, that stuff is forever. They really ain't messing with them no more. Boys do that constantly.
I'm gonna tell you what I see. I ain't trying to be funny. I don't suggest it. Go back there, but a lot of these suburban kids, man, they soft as a motherfucker from the house. They soft as a motherfucker from the house. And when they go to school with some of these kids, like my kids and my grandkids know, do not spare the rod. And that don't just apply to them. If somebody put their hands on you, we ain't turning no other cheek. If I got a black eye, he got to have a black eye too. Yeah, I ain't telling my kid. I'm not telling my kid we going to the principal's office and we going to discuss it. He done bust my mouth open and we just had him say he's sorry. Nah, I'm going to bust his mouth open and we both tell each other we sorry. I ain't playing that shit. That ain't, I mean, and that's what I told BVO. BVO, you remember I told you, I said, we starting to outprice boxing. And when I say outprice boxing, the average neighborhood kid ain't able to box no more. So you starting to get a lot of suburban kids to take up boxing because they only know it as a sport. Mine come from a bull background. This shit is about life and death. This shit about violence. They don't want to see them kids. Them ain't the kids they in a rush to fight. I say it all the time. BVO, if I ain't said it once, I said it 1,000,000 times. You want to know why you don't get none of them dudes calling Jaleel name out? Because they know that Shorty is 24/7, 365 locked in on violence. And if he see you outside, if he see you in the corridor at a venue and you talk shit about him, y'all ain't gonna get a chance to fight. He gonna punch in your mouth right there. That's the difference. That's the difference. These jokers come up under this. It's a sport. They come under this. You know, we got a guidance counselor. Man, that guidance counselor be getting your ass out the trash can, fucking around with some of these kids.
Because they got soft parenting. They got a term called. You ever heard the term soft parenting? That's a real term now.
Nah, that's
saying,
real
bro.
shit.
That's what they doing nowadays. That's what they doing.
You talking real shit, coach. But what they call that shit? They teaching these kids passive aggression. I just teach pure aggression.
Yeah.
That passive aggressive. I don't believe in that shit.
No, we don't. But that's part of that's that second wave of feminism that we dealing with. Like young men are gonna be young men, and the growth and the testosterone and puberty. Like it's genetically I don't care what they do in society, you're not gonna remove. You can't make a young boy not be a young boy. All you're gonna do is
they done figured it out, coach. Yeah. They done figured it out. These young boys don't even scrape their knee no more. Remember when we was growing up, every boy had a scrape on his knee that was there for the rest of his life. These niggas got some of the most manicured hands, feet, and skin that you ever seen in your life. You talk about your NBA players used to come from the playgrounds. These kids talking about I don't play on the blacktop. I only play in gyms. Oh my God.
Yeah, we used to get them right. Well, remember we came latchkey kids. Remember latchkey kids? They think they would think that's abuse. They would call that abuse right now. That your parents ain't home and you gotta let yourself in when you get home from school. They would call that abuse right now. But these kids don't have no independence. They don't even drive no more. That's another problem. Like I don't know. The society in this whole they have made some stuff just stay retarded. A lot of these kids by not giving them independence. They have coddled and retarded kids.
But you know that's the plan, Coach, right? You understand that that's the plan.
Mm-hmm.
That's the new wave of government control. Make you so lazy and dependent on what they give you that you don't know how to go get it no more. You got kids that don't know how to do nothing. Look here, the toughest dude in the neighborhood now, all you gotta do is go next to him and drop a mouse on the ground. That nigga haul ass. You could literally rob these niggas on any corner with a dead mouse. Give me your money. Just hold the dead mouse. Man, give him the money. He gonna put the mouse on me.
He gonna put the mouse on me.
You can rob these niggas with a dead mouse.
But see, I grew up in middle class, and guess what? Even in middle class, we still was latchkey kids. We still fought. We still, at the end of the day, you had to do things for yourself. Like, these kids don't have to do a lot of these things for themselves. There's no sense of independence. So what's happening is they have made a society, like, these kids can't even go outside and play without the mama sitting right there in the chair right next to them. They can't go nowhere. Like, it's just like they don't have a sense of independence. So if you don't have a sense of independence, you never get that part of your brain to develop to try to make your own fucking decisions. And then when they get kicked out to go to college, it's a whole culture shock to them, because now they actually get some freedom. They ain't had it before. Now they get to make some decisions and they don't know what to do. They don't even have summer jobs. We all have summer jobs. They don't do that.
That's when he come on with a pocketbook.
Yep.
And you know what's funny? When you see those guys wearing those purses and they try to swear up and down, this ain't no purse, this a bag. It's like, stop, man. I got a homeboy, he be wearing his purse around. I'm saying, bro,
hey, bro.
What do you call it, a messenger bag?
Mark my word. The next thing you're gonna see these young boys do is start wearing lashes.
I could believe it, man.
Well, they right there. They wearing contacts. They coloring their eyes already. They right now.
The next thing they're gonna be wearing lashes. You gonna see old 6'5" BVO type kid wearing lashes.
We already got it. Look at Magic Johnson's son. They already got that, bro.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about feminine.
Different.
I'm not talking about feminine qualities. I'm talking about a straight dude.
Oh, he calling himself straight. I got you.
Yeah,
okay.
With lashes.
Okay.
20 years ago, you'd have thought I was lying if I said a straight dude was gonna wear a pocketbook.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's wild stuff.
Next thing you're gonna see is a straight dude with lashes.
Or even when you think let's put it even worse. Even when you think about a guy like that stuff that they bring up every week when they want to talk about the Epstein files, when they bring up Puff. That stuff you heard about Puff, man. I never in my life thought I would hear that kind of stuff, man. Like, what man wants to be a part of that kind of foolishness, man? I don't care how much money you get. Ain't nobody trying to be a part of no foolishness like that, bro. But that's just the world we live in, man. Cats don't have no type of decorum or understanding of how to be a man or even do manly things. So I get it. That's just the world we live in, man. So to my brother Joe. My brother Joe said facts. He said y'all gotta be born with it. If that's not born with it, if this taught what is creates disorder. He said y'all been doing that stuff. They just want the rights. Now, all I can say is this. I think the bad thing is this, that people don't understand that we gotta have a family, man. And if you destroy the family, you destroy society, man. So I leave it at that. As always, man, hopefully we get my man Pittsburgh back. I know he don't hang out with the blacks too much, but I appreciate my man Pittsburgh coming up because I know he don't mess with black people, but appreciate you coming by. And shout out to my favorite dude, man. Even though sometimes he can be a stone cold headed, man. Shout out to my man Coach Hackett, man. And we be back, man, next week. Next week, we're only going to do 2 episodes, and we're going to take the rest of Christmas off and enjoy ourselves. So stay tuned. I did confirm we got Coach Schofield coming on here. He's going to come back, and him and Kid Austin going to be on. And I'm going to have my man, Brother Bernard, on as well. So we're going to have some fun, man. We're going to have some coaches on. Hopefully, like I said, my brother Pittsburgh come back. I know he don't do the black shows that much, but hopefully we have you back, man. You guys got anything else?
Everybody have a safe night. If you ain't at home, get home safe. If you at home, don't go back outside. Dangerous shit happen at night.
Hey, what my grandfather said, you need to be home by 10, nigga. On that note, we out here, y'all. Peace.